Is toxic.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. All right, and with that, what's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the 54th edition of the Hard R podcast, where we like to trigger niggas. We do like to trigger niggas in this bitch. As always, the hashtag pull-up line. The hashtag pull-up line is open. Let me make sure I fix that. Let me reset the... There we go. So the hashtag pull-up line, is open. Only if you disagree, guys. Only if you disagree. I need people that disagree. So if you have a problem with my assessment, if you have a problem with my views, if you want to troll me, whatever... The pull-up line is going to be your best. It's going to be your best opportunity to come up and give me a piece of your mind. People rarely do it. But niggas are cowards. Niggas be cowards, and that's just the way niggas are. I've come to accept and expect that from niggas. So anytime somebody actually does have the balls to pull up, it's actually quite a pleasant surprise. If I'm being honest, it's actually a very, 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 very pleasant surprise. All right, guys. So you guys asked me to react to this Amanda Seales versus 20 black conservatives. Oh, yeah, all right. A lot of you wanted me to react to this. Before we get started, let's go ahead and do an agent location check. And the reason why I'm doing that this early is because I saw somebody in the chat who said who wants to know, hey, is anybody here from New Jersey or Connecticut? That was actually Mac. So shout out to him. So let's go ahead and put our age and location in the chat so we can find each other. Real Rain 89. Wow. With the $10 super chat. Boy, my computer is really dragging today. So sorry I haven't been in the chat. I got moved to morning shifts. I got moved to morning shifts, so my jiu-jitsu schedule interferes with nightlies. Still watch the replays, but want to give my Sharp gym fee. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Joshua M. with the $50 Cash App. Bad Rasta. Sorry about that. With the $50 Cash App says, happy belated, man. Treat yourself. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that very, very much. If you want to be cool like Bad Rasta, donate to the Cash App. It's right there. Okay. $sign Donovan Sharp. $Donovan Sharp. Keep in mind, you will see my legal name, which is Edwin Hopkins, before you send it. That is actually me, Edwin Hopkins. That's also my father's name. That's why I go by Alex in real life. But then I go by Donovan online. That is my online persona. $sign Donovan Sharp. Donovan Sharp. Montreal 01 with the $2 Rumble rant says, I have no respect for Amanda Seales after she tried to destroy former NFL player turned neurosurgeon Myron Rolle with false allegations, all because he didn't want a serious relationship with her. Yes, I do remember that. I did not know that that was the same Amanda Seales. How about that? Dr. B, 84, member for 65 months. That is unbelievable. That is 5 years and 5 months, guys. 65 months is 5 years and 5 months. Says, my ass is old as fuck on here. Been supporting you since the days before you even created Sharpstream, where we used to do the GIF battles before the show reviews. Only the OGs know about that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You already know what time it is, man. Those are the good old days. Thankfully now we have Rumble. So I don't have to do Sharpstream or anything like that anymore, because Rumble really is a free speech platform. You don't grow quite as quickly, quite as big over on Rumble, but listen, man. At least we got YouTube. For now, we can get you guys on over to Rumble. Guys, I've turned the monetization. I've turned the monetization off for this particular live stream because I know that Jubilee is not going to allow me to monetize this. That being said, I'd appreciate your support with super chats and or cash apps. We work very, very hard for you guys. Not that you guys should feel sorry for me, but hey, look, it is a Saturday. And I did have a 13 day in a row stream streak. I streamed for 13 straight days, which was cool. Pro Special says, will there be a dating show breakdown, Donovan?
Yep.
Yes, there will be. Speaking of which, right after the show, we're going to move the party over to Rumble, where we will continue our Love is Blind UK Season 2 play-by-play breakdown reaction. We are now on episode 6. We did episode 5 a couple of days ago. We're going to do episode 6 tomorrow, episode 7 Sunday, episode 8 on Monday. So, yes, the answer to your question is yes, there will absolutely, positively be a dating show breakdown. Doctor Who Design says, how is the new family member? Yes. So Fernando is doing very, very well. He is fitting right in, as I am discovering the flaw in my new design here. Fernando is definitely a puppy's puppy. He is getting along with everybody, namely Chester. Oh, wait, sorry about that. Oop, didn't mean to do that. He's getting along with everybody. He's getting along with everybody just fine, namely Chester. He and Chester are getting along quite well. Chester is still, Chester is still kind of wondering, okay, who is this? And what is that? Mac with the $20 Cash App. This is a very good question. He says, Don, what is your favorite bowling ball brand? My favorite bowling ball brand is Ebonite. I am an Ebonite guy through and through. And in case you guys are wondering why he is asking me what my favorite bowling ball brand is because I currently have the last time I was in a bowling league, which was over a year ago, I carried a 186 average for about 2.5 years. My high league game ever is a 277. I've shot into the 270s 3 or 4 times. I've shot into the 260s 10 or 12 times. I regularly shoot into the 200s. So I'm not a professional bowler, but I am supremely confident. Love you guys. I would absolutely kick everyone's ass in here. I would kick everyone's ass. And the thing is most people really don't bowl that well. Most people really don't bowl that well. Most people know how to bowl, but most people bowl for fun, for casual. And listen, bowling is fun, but there is nothing like bowling league. And that is one thing that Devin and I have not done yet since we have gotten out here, is we have got to get into a bowling league, because my ass is itching. I am itching to get on those lanes. Ricky Spanish says hello from Columbus, Georgia, and Fort Benning, Georgia, USA. From Boca Raton, SoFlo. SoFla. Bad Rasta. With the $5 super chat says, heading to the second job, y'all will catch this replay. Stay grinding, fellas. Absolutely. My man out here, Bad Rasta's hustling with 2 jobs and still super chatted $5 and sent in a $20 cash app. Let me give you a Don DeMarco, man. Because I know you guys, look, man, at the end of the day, man, like I know you guys work very, very hard for your money. You guys work very, very hard for your money, man. As we all do. And I greatly, greatly appreciate the fact that that you guys, every day, you guys generously support the show. It's the reason why, you guys are the reason why I live the life I live. The reason why I don't have to worry about money is because of you guys. Okay? Yeah, I work for the money and this and that and the third, but guys, I'm not here without you. A lot of guys like to thank me. A lot of you guys say, hey, Donovan, you changed my life. Rightfully so. But you guys can disagree with me all you want to. I don't think you guys realize just how much of an impact that you guys have had on my life. Call it a mutually beneficial relationship, but you guys have probably impacted my life a lot more than I've impacted yours. Disagree with me if you want. I don't care. You can't tell me nothing. So I always appreciate you guys. I always appreciate your generosity. You guys speak with your dollars. And but hey, listen, man, if you can't super chat or cash app, no problem. Do your boy a favor and hit that like button. Okay, and so to business. Amanda Seales. Amanda Seales is obviously she is a wokie. I think at this point that certainly goes without saying. She was recently on Jubilee in a debate with 20 black conservatives, which is very, very interesting because she can't call them racist if they're black, right? Because according to black people, or according to niggas, black people can't be racist. All right, guys, here comes the reaction. Without further ado, here we go.
Black culture is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the black home. Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Who do we vote for?
You're talking to a radical, not a Democrat. The radical mind state simply is living opposite to our colonizers, which
okay, so you're being a contrarian for contrarian's sake. For contrarian's sake, got it.
Is an imperialist, capitalist mind state, and radical blacks.
You can tell by this woman's body language that she is the typical rank and file angry black woman. Guys, you can just tell. Her eyebrow was furrowed, right? This right here, one eyebrow above the other, eyes slightly closed. Guys, that is a clear sign of condescension. I'm better than you. I am more enlightened than you. Yeah, you can just tell by her body language what kind of woman this is. Real Rain 89 with the $5 super chat says, Donovan, when I'm jogging in mornings doing burpees after jiu-jitsu, I listen to you and I owe you more than my super chats ever do. Well, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Like I said, man, I will never take you guys' generosity for granted. I really won't.
Not believe that is any way for us to have liberation. Well, here's what you all keep doing. You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. If I show you respect, give me the respect back. Ooh, I knew.
Oh, boy. Okay, so she's a black woman. She's getting emotional. I was going to
be surrounded by ignorance, but damn.
Oh, there you go. There it is. Now, see. Oh, holy smoke. She's already started with the ad homs. As soon as you start with the ad hominem attacks, as soon as you start talking about somebody personally, you've already lost the argument.
Let's go. Greetings. I am Amanda Seales, widely known as a comedian, an actress, a disruptor, an annoying person on the internet who always tells.
A disruptor and annoying person on the internet, both of which she's a comedian and a disruptor. Yeah, male comedians and disruptors are attractive to women, but female comedians and disruptors are not attractive to men.
The truth, and I am now an artistic intellectual who commits myself to making art that educates. And today,
so basically she runs off at the mouth.
I am surrounded by 20 black conservatives. My first claim is it is undeniable that reparations are just and necessary.
Nope.
No, they're not. No, they are not. Reparations would destroy the black. You want to know something? Here's how I feel about reparations. If you were to give the so-called black community reparations, that would be the death knell. That would be the nail in the coffin. That would be the nail in the coffin. Because how often, I think we're all familiar with the notion, and I think there have been studies done. There have been stories, documentaries, and they'll follow lottery winners like after they've won the lottery. And I think it's something like 75% of lottery winners either go broke or are in a worse financial position than they were before they won the lottery, right? Well, this is because they say money changes people. No, money doesn't change people. Money magnifies who you really are, right? If you have drug addict proclivities, you get a little bit of money, you're going to do drugs. I got some money, I did a lot of drugs. I tell people all the time I snorted my weight in cocaine when I was in Vegas, right? Drank a lot, smoked a lot, got into a lot of fights, right? I'm a hothead. I'm a self-admitted hothead. I've been diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder, IED, all sorts of crazy nonsense stuff. I've got the expunged criminal record to prove it, right? You give black people reparations, that would be the death knell, because niggas would spend money on nigga shit. Now, I will tell you this. Hang on. All right, guys. Okay, take a brief. So this, of course, is Fernando. This, of course, is Fernando. This is the newest addition. You okay, buddy? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. This is Fernando. Literally the cutest puppy ever. Literally the cutest puppy ever. Like, this is the cutest puppy I have ever owned in my life. Look at him. Look at him. Like, dude, Fernando is the best. Fernando's the best. Our ice maker is on the fritz, so Devin is out getting ice. Why are you shaking, little fella? It's okay. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me. It's just me. Okay, anyway, I will say this as I attempt to break this down with my 9-week-old puppy. Dr. B84 with the $10 super chat says, if niggas got reparations, fried chicken would cost $1,000 a bucket and Hennessy would be $500 a bottle. Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I was going to say before I heard Fernando barking downstairs is, if there are going to be reparations, I'm buying stock in Newports, I'm buying stock in Jordans, I'm buying stock in Hennessy, I'm buying stock in nigga shit, y'all. I'm buying stock in nigga shit. You want to know why? Because niggas don't buy stocks. Niggas buy, well, nigga shit. Depreciating assets, Jordans, Newports, Hennessy, you know, all the shit they lock up in retail stores, right? That's just the way that goes. So she can miss me with this reparations nonsense. Wait a minute, was that Anthony Brent? Oh, Devin's back. Dev, you back? Are you back? right, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. That looked like Anthony Brian Logan. Yeah, that's him. That's him. I don't know if you guys know who this is, but this is Anthony Brian Logan. He is definitely a black conservative. Oh, shit. Oh! ABL got there first. Here we go.
All right, reparations, fair, necessary. My question would be, who's going to get it? Why would they get it? And how long are we going to sit here focusing on trying to get reparations? It's been how many years since slavery? 150 years, 1865? Whenever there's a real thing that this country wants to do, they do it.
Look at the condescension. See, you can already tell. You can just tell, just by the furrowing of the eyebrow, the fake attention she's giving, right? Like this right here, this is what disingenuous people do when they're listening in bad faith. She wants us to think that she really is listening to Anthony Brian Logan, which she is, she just doesn't hear him. She's only listening to respond. And you can always tell that someone is listening to respond just based on this facial expression, this fake, I'm really paying attention to you.
Stop Asian hate. Okay, there's a problem with the Asian hate. Let's draft a bill, sign it, and it's done. Anything that needs to be done is done. With us, it's a carrot they dangle in front of us that they don't really want to do. And it's not going to help. We need education. Oh, it's not going to help. No, it's not. We need education. Getting a check from the government.
Okay, right there. Do you see that? Okay, so I can already see that. Okay, so this right here, guys. This right here. This is how people interrupt without interrupting. Okay? We all know that one of the most challenging parts of debates is people cutting across each other and cutting people off. It's not completely a quote unquote debate crime, because when you're debating hot topics, yes, emotions are going to be running high. You're going to want to get your point across. People are going to talk over or across each other. That's fine. But especially when disingenuous people, bad faith merchants, what they like to do is they like to try to throw you off and change what you're saying by giving you facial expressions while you're talking. That way you can't tell her, well, I'm not interrupting you. Yeah, well, the face is certainly, and listen, she's not doing anything wrong. But guys, this is a tactic of bad faith actors.
Oh, it's not going to help. No, it's not. We need education. Getting a check from the government is not going to do that. And we need proper education. A lot of us go to these institutions where we're not really prepared, we're not really focused, and we don't get things that'll help us in the real world. So if you want to help black people, a check from the government, from our tax dollars is going to get raised, because let's be clear, everybody in here is black. We all American. We all got to pay taxes. It'll go to that. So I don't really see how this is going to help us at all.
Okay. Well, first I'll start with, it will help on even just a moral level. The reality is...
Oh my God, here we go. It'll help on a moral level. Bitch babble. This is something that modern women have really tried to sort of sell us as though they are the morally superior of the two sexes. No. Women are the most immoral creatures on the face of the earth. Women are depraved, they're selfish, and they're narcissists. Women are not worried about morality, especially when it comes to persons that have nothing to do with them. So for this woman to sit here and say, well, let's give $100,000 to each black person because it's the right thing to do is bullshit.
That the United States has become very comfortable with the fact that it does not consider black people equal, and it shows.
That is absolutely crazy. The United States does not consider black people equal. This again, what Amanda is doing is she's acting like this is 1825. Okay? No, bitch, it's 2025. All right? Black people are seen in this country as equals. I think it was Thomas Sowell, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I think it was Thomas Sowell who said, well, when you give one group of people privilege for so long, equal treatment looks and feels like oppression, right? Black people have been given so much privilege for so long that now that we're starting to treat them like equals, niggas actually think it's oppression. No, that's not oppression, sweet cheeks. That's just equal treatment. Black people, listen, man, niggas don't want equal rights. They want equal outcomes. That's what they want. Kevin Samuels used to say that all the time.
That in many ways that I'm sure we will discuss over the course of today. But ultimately, there has not been a committed, concerted effort to shifting the mindset around the use of Black people as a labor force in this nation. Back when it was slavery, now in the use of slavery as slave labor in prisons. So on a basic...
Okay, in prisons. Yes, slave labor in prisons. I am in favor of slave labor in prisons. Okay? Prisoners are convicted felons. Okay? They have no more rights. Put them to work. There's nothing wrong with that.
Cultural level, reparations are an act of repair. They are an effort.
I'm sorry, reparations are an act of repair. What do we call DEI? Huh? What do we call affirmative action? Guys, listen, Black people have been getting reparations for decades. Okay? Black people have been getting reparations for decades. Y'all. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Affirmative action, right? Section 8, SNAP, food stamps, benefits, free healthcare, free education, free housing. Black people have been getting reparations forever. But you want to know why Black people don't like the reparations that they're getting? Is because the reparations that America is giving Black people, it's shit that they need and not shit that they want. Let's just go ahead and keep it 100. The reason why niggas want reparations is so they can go out and buy Jordans. They're not going to go out and invest in stocks. They're not taking out 529 college plans for their kids. Okay, they're not buying land or other appreciating assets. No. Niggas want reparations so they can go buy the shit that they want. America has given Black people reparations. We've given these niggas food. We've given these niggas housing. We've given these niggas free healthcare. We've given these niggas free education. We've given these niggas free food. SNAP, WIC, food stamp. I mean, dude, like reparations is welfare. The welfare system is reparations. EBT, like Oh Good For You says. Those are reparations. The problem with reparations is that they're giving niggas the shit that they need. Job opportunities, resume building skills, right? Food, clothes, shelter. But niggas don't want shit that they want. They don't want shit that they need. They want shit that they want. They want the big new watch. They want the Jordans. They want the Hennessy. That's what they want. So, yeah, reparations have already been paid to the nigga community.
To say, our bad, we see you now. We have seen that done with Japanese folks who were put in internment.
Sexy Lamb says, I want my 3 acres, man. Well, if you want your 3 acres, sexy Lamb, then go and fucking buy it.
Camps. We have seen that done with Jewish folks. We have seen that done even in the case of slave owners who received reparations.
That is false. That is absolutely false.
When it comes to the use of tax dollars to pay reparations, and this is going to come up a lot today, it's a matter of values, right? For me, my value system circulates around the fact that I think that as a community, we should all be engaged in repair for our community.
There it is, more virtue signaling. The way I see it is that it's the right thing to do.
So I don't think there should be any problem with there being tax dollars spent at repairing consistent efforts that have been made to impede Black people. So the reparations...
Alexander Sinclair says, here's the quote, civil rights used to be about treating everyone the same, but today some people are so used to special treatment that equal treatment is considered to be discrimination. Thank you for that, Alexander. I appreciate that very much. Scott B says, Blacks in America dominate sports, music, dancing, and entertainment. They seem pretty equal to me. No, Blacks are not equal in sports and entertainment. Black people, we are the trendsetters. We are the trendsetters, guys. That's as equal as it gets.
You're talking about are not just related to slavery. There's reparations that have been discussed all over this nation.
Oh, shit. That looks like Jordan Peele. Looks like Jordan Peele is... Jordan Peele wants to get in
different communities as it relates to particular massacres, as it relates to redlining and the impediment of Black people to earn wealth by having property. There's been impediments in...
redlining, redlining, the way she describes it, has been systematically debunked for years. Stop it.
In various ways that can be repaired. And I want to also just add, there's reparations that are considered a cash payment from a government.
There we see. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want the cash payment from the government so that they can spend the money on what they want to spend the money on. But this is interesting. You want to know the black people are all the time talking about we need reparations, and those of us who are against reparations say, look, man, you can't give black people reparations because they'll spend money on dumb shit. No, they won't. Case in point, tax season. If you want to know how niggas will spend their reparation money, look what happens during tax season. Y'all heard the term hood rich, tax rich? How many niggas and baby mamas out here pushing BMWs and Mercedes just after April 15th? Right? They put down their little $4,000 payment for a car they can't afford, the little $800 a month payment that they can afford to pay for 2 or 3 months, the buy here, pay here lot that doesn't give a fuck about your credit. They put the little tracking device on your car. Okay, so she's pushing that Benz, she's looking good, she's hood rich, everything is good, and then 2 months later, it gets repossessed. This is what niggas would spend. This is what niggas do with their money. If you want to know how black people would handle reparations, they tell us how they would handle reparations every tax season. They spend money on dumb shit. Again, Jordans, liquor, clothes, fast food, depreciating assets. If they're spending their tax money on these things, what makes us think that they're going to take $100,000 and invest it? They're not. Dirty Dan says stimulant checks went straight from the hood to Versace drip. Exactly.
Also, the version of reparations that shows up in how funds are applicated to specific groups. Applied, sweetie. Of people.
This is the type of bitch that uses like multi-syllable words. She'll use a 5-syllable word when the 2-syllable word will do.
So there's multiple ways in which what you're stating cannot happen could very well happen.
Okay. Could.
Okay, now as far as the money going toward...
Yes, Connor Brown says renting mansions. There you go. Yeah, look what the Anthony family did. The Anthony family raised damn near $1 million. What did they decide to do? They decided to buy an Escalade and move into a mansion.
Certain things is going to help us. Let's look at Baltimore public schools. They get, I think, the third most money per pupil in the US of A, like $15,000 per student, but yet the majority of the population that comes from that environment can't read. They're illiterate. So we're dumping money on the situation, yes, but yet we're not getting the results we should get from it. Money's not going to help the thing. We need to just focus on what we need to focus on. As far as black people being labor force of this country, what else are we doing? We got 25% of us on some kind of government assistance, one out of everything.
Not only that, she's talking about black people being used as the labor force and this and that and the other. Again, does this nigga forget that black people only represent 13% of the people in this country? Right, there are 340 million people in the United States, roundabout. There are roughly 40 million black people in this country. That is the gross minority.
Black men will go to jail. We got to do something. We got to work with our hands, work with tools, do something, because we're not doing much of anything. And also, one more piece here.
See, there it is. There it is. The disingenuous, I disagree with you. You see this over exaggerated, I disagree with you. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong here. Why is it that people like this always wear these kinds of glasses? Is this the new liberal man-hating feminist? Is this part of the man-hating feminist uniform? Because dude, what was it? The CEO or the bitch that pulled the trigger on the new Cracker Barrel rebranding? Didn't she also wear glasses like this? And that's why Cracker Barrel is about to close.
Reparations, again, always anchored in front of us, never going to happen. As long as you've been living, as long as I've been living, as long as everybody been living, they say we need it, and it never gets done. One more piece.
You just said one more piece, then you're adding another one.
I promise.
Oh, see, here she goes. Here she goes. So Anthony Bryan Logan is already kicking her ass up and down. I've already picked up on this. If she's not talking, see, again, remember what we pointed out yesterday. Niggas don't like to talk unless other people are talking. Okay? The only time niggas don't talk while other people are talking is when what's being said makes sense to them. If what's being said makes sense to them, it will temporarily stun them into silence. Then when it starts making too much sense, then they start to filibuster. Okay, I can't let this person continue this because I am going to lose this argument. Anthony Brian Logan was absolutely cooking. And he was cooking too much. He said one more point, then she decided it. And again, this is what niggas do. They like to talk about the debate rather than debate. You're cutting me off. You said you were going to do this and did that. You need to do this and do that. Don't talk about the debate. Let's debate.
Wait. Hold on to it.
I'm going to land the plane. I'm going to land the plane, I promise. Reparations is a thing, like I said, it's a carrot to dangle in front of us. They're never really going to get it done. And if it was going to get done, it would have already been done.
Well, again, Mr. Logan, reparations have been done. Reparations have been done for the last couple of decades plus. Again, DEI, affirmative action, welfare.
It's something that they're using to try and make us stay Democrat. That's what I wanted to say.
Well, Democrats are not doing reparations either. This is nonpartisan. This is black partisan, baby. Okay, well, this is not.
Black partisan is partisan, sweetie. Do you know what partisan means? Bipartisan means both sides of the aisle. Partisan means either conservative or only liberal. But she said black partisan. That's partisan. Dana Gonzalez is in the house, as you can tell, she's not even listening to understand. No.
Who do we vote for? Who do we vote for 93% of the time? There's no incentive.
To be quite honest, you're not talking to a Democrat. You're talking to a radical.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Said says, like Andrew Wilson says, having a conversation about the conversation instead of addressing the actual topic. Yeah, this is what niggas do. This is what Bean said. What if you would just let me do it interrupted, or you said that you would, bro, we're having a conversation about the conversation. Shut the fuck up and let's debate.
But let's
land this plane very quickly.
Who do we vote for?
Let's land this plane quickly.
Who do we vote for?
You're talking to a radical, not a Democrat.
Okay.
Oh, you're talking to I'm not a Democrat. I'm a radical. Hey, even better. Even better. And isn't it interesting that even liberals, and let's make no mistake about it, this woman is absolutely a liberal. And that just seems that seems to be sort of a common thread between liberals, is they don't like to call themselves liberals, much like how militant feminists don't like to call themselves feminists anymore. Sweetheart, if you have to say I'm not a liberal, chances are you're probably a liberal.
And
you are your own person.
Let me tell you something now. I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how we're going to get clicks, stop it now.
Oh. There it is. See, there it is. Having a conversation about the conversation. Ain't nobody up here trying to get clicks.
No.
That's not how we're going to enter.
We have a debate.
See, here we go. See, now, do you see what she just tried to do? She tried to, see, he was making a very good point. Anytime someone makes a good point in a debate against people like this, they like to say, oh, nobody told you. Somebody must have told you. They lied to you. They must have told you that cutting people off is going to get clicks. He's like, no, that's not why I'm here. Translation, your argument makes sense, and I don't have a rebuttal for it.
A debate does not require continuously cutting somebody off.
Okay, no problem.
Now, I do want to state this. You're stating things as it relates to how money is not fixing a problem, without acknowledging the fact that the problem doesn't exist in a vacuum, and that there are so many other factors that are determining how that money is getting spent.
Kyber Commander says also she's a cultural Marxist. Oh yeah, of course. Dude, most of these people are Marxists.
Eat it from actually fixing a problem. You can put all the money into Baltimore public schools you want, but if you are also putting all this money into policing, into communities that are not getting resources, then you are also creating your own conundrum. The other part of this is that when you're...
That did not make any sense. That didn't make any sense. ABL just said, hey, we're dumping a bunch of money into Baltimore public schools. Baltimore public schools are trash. She didn't rebuttal the point. All she says, well, police.
Saying they, the they is a broad context. And the last part of this that I will say is that you keep saying they're dangling this in our face. They're dangling in this our face. Slavery lasted for 400 years. It hasn't even...
What in the... Whoa. I'm sorry. Did this bitch just say slavery lasted for 400 years? How long did slavery last in America? Here we go. How long did slavery last in America? Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Sorry about that, y'all. Hang on, I gotta... There we go. 400 years. So I went and I just typed this in and looked this up. Yeah, slavery lasted about 250 years. This woman just said slavery. Let's listen to her one more time.
They're dangling in their star face. Slavery lasted for 400 years.
Slavery lasted for 400 years. And look at the confidence in her face as she utters this absolute falsehood. She is so confidently ignorant. And this is what niggas do when they argue in bad faith. Is they just lie. Slavery lasted for 400 years. No, sweetie, you're off by about a century and a half. You're off by about a century and a half, sweetie. Real Rain with the $10 super chat says she's definitely radical in the streets, patriarch in the streets. Absolutely.
It hasn't even been 400 years since slavery. So
it hasn't even been 400 years since slavery. Guys, I'm not a mathematician. Not a mathematician, but what the fuck? Jesus. The phone was tripping. I'm not a mathematician, but 2025 minus 19, I'm sorry. Oops, no, that was my bad. 1865 is when slavery ended. Slavery has been abolished for 160 years. So already she has uttered two straight up lies. Slavery didn't last for 400 years. It lasted for 250 years. And then she said this.
400 years. It hasn't even been 400 years since slavery.
Oh, no, she was right. It hasn't been 400 years since slavery. It's been 160. Okay, she's right. But slavery didn't last for 400 years. And I think the point that she was trying to make is that we had slavery longer. Like, the time from the abolishment of slavery till now is less than the time that slavery was present. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay.
So should we be only fighting for a quarter of the time to get repair?
All right. I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority.
All right.
Please return to your seat.
Okay.
My name is Matt Nuclear.
Hello, Matt. Nuclear?
Matt Nuclear, yes.
Matt Nuclear, give me a better handshake than that. Let's do it.
All right.
Look, see that? Did you hear that? You see this? Guys, this woman is on autopilot with the ad homs. She takes shots all the time. Guys, this was her plan going in. She was going to low-key insult every person. This guy was trying to be courteous. My name is Matt Matt Nuclear, whatever. How are you doing? Right? Oh, dude, leave it, guys. Dude. This is not insignificant. This is not insignificant. Leave it to a black woman to take an act of courteousness and kindness and throw it back in this dude's face. Leave it to a black woman to take a genuine act of, hey, we're about to debate. You who are about to die, I salute you, Titus Gladiator. Let's shake on it. Boxers come out, into the ring. Ding, ding, the first round, they touch gloves. MMA, they touch gloves, and then they duke it out. This is what this dude was trying to do. But what does she do? Instead of, hey, you know what? Hey, this guy actually shook my hand. Well, give me a better handshake than that. Implying that he had a weak handshake.
Hello, Matt. Nuclear?
Matt Nuclear, yes.
Matt Nuclear, give me a better handshake than that. Let's do it. All right.
Let's do it.
With a beautiful black woman like yourself. This is nice. Beautiful arena here. I disagree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the black community would be the stopping of violence, especially black on black violence. I don't see how reparations is going to solve anything.
There it is. There it is. Anytime somebody makes a valid point, this is what she does. The over-exaggeration of, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm sorry, Miss Seals. Is black-on-black crime not a problem? Are black people not more likely to be killed, murdered, assaulted by black people than white people?
You can give everyone here like a $50,000.
See, right there. See, right there. There it is.
Especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship, and even entering the country.
Oh, God. I already know she's going to counter with redlining.
We discriminate against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States, yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible?
Because they're hustlers. Because they're hustlers. The reason why Chinese have the highest median household income is because they're hustlers, and they're not victims. They didn't come here and say, "Woe is me. The white man is keeping us down." No, no. They're like, all right, cool. We've got some obstacles. Let's overcome these obstacles and kick some ass. And that's exactly what they've done. It's just amazing that black people born here in the United States have been given every conceivable advantage over foreigners that come here. Yet the foreigners consistently outperform domestic black people.
How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
God.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start.
Now, okay, all the time. Stats don't lie. Statistics lie all the time. No, stats don't lie. I said according to the FBI. So you're telling me that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is lying when they say that 90% of black people are killed by black people?
Are there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So
yes, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, the very government you are living under.
If you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. Comparing.
I'm sorry. Is black on black crime not a problem in America?
Yep.
Okay. Do black people kill other black people disproportionately than other races?
Yep.
So what is she talking about? She can talk about she can talk about statistics all she wants to. I don't need a statistic to tell me that most people in prison are black people. I don't know what percentage it is, and I don't know who reported it. But every time I've been to jail, it's been mostly niggas. That's just me.
Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States, and comparing the continued effort of black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live in.
Real Rain 89 with the $5 super chat says she'll never talk about the white boys that died to free slaves. No, she won't.
Exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. What? No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe
I'm telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic
condescension,
racism that I've experienced here in America. What system is racist? I think the only racist.
Do you see this condescension, dude? She is completely outclassed here. She's completely outclassed here. She has not a clue how to handle this guy. So she's being overly dramatic. Are you serious here? Sweetie, debate. Let's not ask questions.
We've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories using black-only dormitories.
Mac with the $5, Mac with the $5 Cash App. Oh, shoot. Mac has the $5 Cash App, says the United States is 249 years old, Donovan. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The United States is only 249 years old. Just turned 249, as a matter of fact.
Because black people feel safer amongst each other, but they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them.
Those are facts.
That's just the truth.
There it is. See, that's just the truth. See, this is an objective truth. How is guys? If you're in a debate, if you're watching a debate, and one of the people in the debate will not, at the very least, concede objective truths, they're arguing in bad faith. This guy is like, dude, this is common sense. Black on black crime is a problem. Yet she's being all demonstrative here.
King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor?
Oh! Oh my God. Oh boy. Oh boy. King Von is rapping about killing other black people. And I'm supposed to think the white man is the oppressor. Oh, wow.
Black men are more likely to kill me.
Oh my God, this is scary.
No, that's not scary. It's correct. See, every time somebody makes a good point, she goes with hyperbole.
You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion.
Oh my God, this bitch. Did this bitch really just say this?
Likely to kill me.
Oh my God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So,
are you serious? This kid has been respectful. He said, "You're a beautiful black woman," right? Like, bitch, you're getting cooked.
Let's check that now. Okay. So.
No. We're not checking that now. See, do you see what she did there? You see what she did there? She knows this dude is kicking her ass all up and down. He is kicking her ass all up and down this table. So she decided to try to cut him off at the knees. First of all, don't talk to me like that. Talk to me like I'm your mama. Number one, bitch, you are nobody's mama. Okay. Number 2, he is not your son. Okay. Number 3, everyone sees through this veneer that everyone sees this strategy that you're trying to employ. Talk to me like your mama? No, you can tell him to do that. Bad Rasta with the $5 super chat says, anybody seen the Boondocks? Remember the nigga moment episode? I'll leave it here.
On a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism, and we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When we talk about systemic...
Do not cut me off. See, she saw that he was about to rebuttal, and she said, do not cut me off. So now she's on demon mode.
Racism. We can start with even the fact that redlining, which was implemented to
discriminate black... Dude, what did I tell you? I knew she was going to talk about redlining.
Communities. Are you shaking your head that redlining doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying I don't think it really existed at all. I mean, no, I don't think so at all.
So it does exist. And stating that it doesn't exist doesn't make it no longer exist. Redlining.
Right, but saying that it does exist doesn't mean that it exists, Miss Seals. You see, it works both ways. Okay, you just told this kid saying it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Well, okay, that's fine, but saying it does exist doesn't necessarily mean it does.
Absolutely exists. It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact, and there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school students in third.
And now here she is filibustering, just like she accused Anthony Bryan Logan of filibustering.
Grade. So if you are literally building prisons with the onset of, okay, if these people are not reaching a certain reading level, then we know that they're going to go down a prison industrial pipeline, or we can use their free labor. Then how is that not systemic? And if you want to
stop them from entering prisons,
how are you going to stop people from entering prisons if your goal is to get them into prison?
Sure, make them.
No, nobody's goal is to get anybody into prison. See, that's the thing. This is the systemic racism. This is the systemic racism. White people's goal is not to get black people in prison. Niggas put themselves in prison. Big Said says, notice she is more focused on how he said something rather than what he said. So she had to employ gaslighting tactics and condescension to appear to be, quote, winning. Guys, that is a very, very, very good quote. That's a very, very, very good quote. That's a very good comment there, right? This is what niggas do. Is they like, thank you. They like to preemptively gaslight to give them the impression of winning, right? Like when we watch those police videos, oh, I'm going to sue you, or I'm going to get my family to come after you. They want the appearance of winning.
Try to be more like Ben Carson than be like King Von. That's very, very simple.
So how does King Von happen? How does King Von happen?
King Von.
Reparations. Actually, no, let me land the plane.
Okay, wait a minute. Didn't you just ask him that?
About reparations, and what you're doing is actually just trying to get this conversation off the facts. And the fact is, reparations are just and necessary because on a basic level, black people built this country, and the country continues to thrive off of the labor that black people put into this country. And it would behoove you, young man, to really understand the way that
It would behoove you, young man. You're young, so you don't know.
Ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation that is still living off of those blood, sweat, and tears. And let me also add, there are reparations and then there is remunerations. Do you know the difference?
Yes, but can I finish one point I wanted to say? Ben Carson's cousins were killed at a very young age.
I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority. Okay. Please return to your seat.
I hope some of y'all are acting. I really do. I really.
See here she goes. See, you guys see what this is? You guys see what this is? This woman has gotten her ass kicked already. How many times? 2-3 times already. This bitch is 0-3 or 0-2 or whatever. Okay? She knows she is losing. So what she is trying to do is she is trying to shame the audience. Boy, I hope all of you guys are acting. In other words, I hope you guys don't come with the same smoke as those first two did.
In LA,
Sexy Lamb says, is she related to the slaves? Probably not.
In LA, and I hope some people in here are acting. Oh, what's that on your chain?
This is corn from Israel.
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
Oh, there we go. See, there it is. There it is. Do you guys see how she's now cutting people off at the pass? You see how she's cutting people off at the pass? Okay. Oh, what's that on your chain? She was not interested in what was on his chain. She just wanted a reason to take him down a peg. Watch again.
Oh, what's that on your chain?
This is corn from...
Oh, what's that on your chain? Like she is so concerned about what's on your chain. No, she just wants to use it to make fun of you.
Israel.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Good. I'm already winning.
Yes, you gotta go.
That's the choice that you are making for yourself.
Yes. The thing with the whole reparations thing, and I don't know, we're probably close to the same age, so maybe you can't call me.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
I'm 44.
Oh, really? Oh, you look young.
Thank you. That's what water and keeping stress out of your life will do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Liberal positions are real stressful.
By the way, I wouldn't.
Oops! Oh boy. Oh boy. This dude is the Velvet Hammer. He said liberal positions are very, very stressful.
I'm not a liberal. Carrie.
Stop the cap.
No, baby, you are a liberal. You are a liberal.
Well, it's a liberal position because conservatives believe in hard work. We believe in.
There it is. See that the demonstrative. Anytime her face gets like this, you know that he has just made up. See, guys, we've already picked up on her tell. When someone makes a valid point, this is when she has these over exaggerated demonstrative facial expressions. These over exaggerated demonstrative facial expressions. No, this right here tells us that she has no answer for what he has said. And the reason why we know this is two reasons. Number one, because of her facial expression, and number two, because she's not saying anything. Remember, niggas don't like to talk unless somebody else is talking. If they happen to be stunned into silence, it means that the person on the other side of the table is making a good point and they can't think fast enough to rebuttal their point. But if he happens to make a point to where she has a rebuttal, then she will cut him off. And then if he does the same thing, she'll say, well, don't cut me off.
Going to work and working for what you got, not asking for handouts from people who never had slaves. Some of the people that you're asking for money from never had slaves. Okay. And let's talk about the fact there were also black people that had slaves. Yep. So if you want to talk about that, how is that fair?
Oh, look at this. Here's a fact check. There were approximately 3,700 free black people who owned 12,000 slaves. So there you go. We had 3,700 free black people who owned 12,000 slaves. 12,000 slaves. That's a lot of slaves. Let's do some math here. 3,700 or 12,000 actually. Hang on. Divided by 3,700. Okay? Dude, the average free black person had just over 3 slaves per person. Incredible.
If I'm a white person and my family fall on the side of the Union, why should I have to pay for slaves when this whole country was never all racist? Some of the founding fathers were abolitionists, and they hated slavery, and they actually put things in the Declaration of Independence and things too because they believed that there'll be a future where there would be a black president one day, or that there would be people in leadership that were black. There was people in the
there's Jordan Peele
North who helped with the Underground Railroad and fought with the Union. So why is that fair for people who never had slaves, who fought against slavery, to have to pay for people that had slaves?
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves.
What? What are you talking about? This dude just cooked you, and all you got was you care about the people
that had slaves.
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves.
Okay. There is no fairness to the descendants of slaves because the descendants of slaves were never slaves. That's the first thing. The second thing is it is far more hazardous to convict the innocent than it is to free the guilty. Okay? And let me ask you guys, let me actually put a poll in the chat because this is a very interesting sort of debate that I have with myself. Okay? Which is worse? Okay? Convicting the innocent or acquitting the guilty? Which is worse? I happen to think that it's convicting the innocent. And this is what people like Amanda Seales does. Is they convict the innocent. You're a white person, so you must have automatically owned slaves. No, not all white people own slaves. Not all white people own slaves. Reverend Brown with the $10 super chat says she's been fired from every entertainment job. Jubilee is her last chance of relevancy. She thirsty for attention. Charlemagne the God didn't want her around, and he a bleeding heart liberal. Oh my God, Charlemagne didn't want her ass around. Damn. I had no idea who this woman is until was until, and I don't keep up with all this stuff, so I don't know.
That is priority to you than finding a fair way to accommodate those who have been the descendant of slaves.
Well, our ancestors wasn't asking for handouts. They were asking for equal opportunity.
Oops, gotcha.
And we have equal opportunity in this country. We had a black president, just in case you didn't know. We had a black president, and we had a black vice president. I mean, I think she was black. They said she was black. I don't know. So we had a...
He said, I think she was black. Right?
We had a black president, and you know who voted for that black man? White people.
White people did. There you go. White people voted for that black president. White people voted for Barack Obama, okay? White people voted for Barack Obama. That's the only way Obama gets into office is if black people voted for him.
Win a popular election in this country without white people. So Barack Obama is the product of white people. So let's get off this thing where, America is so racist. What's making America so racist is people that continue to talk about racism and continue to focus on racism instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward. People that have these liberal mindset are infecting our communities.
There it is. Did you see that? Once again, he is cooking right now. Once again, he is cooking right now. Okay? Now watch. He's making very good points here. Now watch.
And bringing our country forward. People that have these liberal
mindsets
are infecting our community.
There it is. There. See, guys, right there. There is the over-exaggerated demonstrative body language. Okay? There is that overly exaggerated, hyperbolic, demonstrative body language that she displays when she knows that the person across from her is espousing a point that she does not have a rebuttal to. Okay? H.MPEG said she's not listening. No, she's listening. She just doesn't hear him. She's listening to respond.
Communities, black people, and making us victims and not victors. I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for equal opportunity.
Do not bring up Harriet Tubman's name.
Oh, there it is.
In vain, baby, please.
See that right there? Classic deflection. This dude was absolutely cooking. And what does she do? Do not bring up Harriet Tubman's name in vain, please, Lord Jesus. Translation. I was getting my fucking ass handed to me, and I needed to stop the momentum. Gentlemen, what just happened? What just happened is what happens. I don't know if you guys follow basketball, NBA, college, whatever the case may be. And my sports fans out here, you know exactly where I'm going with this. There is thunder and lightning outside, and so if this stream dies, it's because the storm knocked it out. Because it rains in Reno about twice a year, and I guess today is one of those days. Anyway, what happens in basketball is one team will go on a run. Okay, they'll score like 6 or 7 baskets in a row, 14-0, 14-0, whatever the case may be, right? Well, what the opposing coach will do is if his team is having trouble stopping the other team, he'll call a timeout or a 20-second timeout just to stop the momentum. And that often works because momentum is a real thing in sports. This woman just did the same thing. This dude was on a 10-0, 12-0, 14-2, 14-3 run. She said, okay, let me get a timeout. Let me call a timeout and stop this momentum. Please do not take Harriet Tubman's name in vain. That's exactly what she just did.
I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for equal opportunity.
There it is. Timeout.
Tubman's name in vain, baby. Please.
Harriet Tubman's name in vain. The Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah.
Yes, he is not arguing that. So why are you... I don't know why she's yelling at him about this as though he disagrees with Harriet Tubman's place in history. Not disagreeing. She's right. Harriet Tubman freed slaves and her family. Don't know why she's yelling at him about this. Everybody knows that.
You know who helped her? White people.
You know who helped her?
Oops! No, this nigga. Oh, my God.
No, the fuck you didn't.
Oh, shit.
They were on the Underground Railroad.
No. You know who helped her?
That's right.
No, you know who helped her?
White people.
God. And
people who benefit from white supremacy. One of the things
oh my God. Oh my God. People who benefit from white supremacy. People who benefit. So let me get this straight. White people helped Harriet Tubman free black people because white supremacy. Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. At this point, guys, she's just talking to talk.
It's a lie.
No, sir,
It's
that's
a
simply
lie.
not
There's
true.
no such- I mean,
if
that's
that were not the case, then we wouldn't see the continued effort of colonialism and white people placing themselves in positions of power.
Colonialism is the new word for racism. Remember everybody called Pearl a colonialist?
You know
They
why
do
they're
not
in
have the
position of
power.
power? Because
me
their
hear
culture, black culture, is toxic.
And here's the Oh shit. Scott B says, do not take Harriet Tubman's name in vain. It's not an argument. This is a debate. Absolutely. But look at the look on her face. That nigga said black culture is toxic. She knows he's right. That's why she looks stunned.
The black culture is toxic.
See that? See? Oh, there's that demonstrative overcorrection. Guys, again, there is no rebuttal for this. Black culture, nigga culture is toxic. He's right. That's why she doesn't have a rebuttal.
We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers
So
in
white
the black
culture
home.
is-
Let's
Stop,
talk
stop,
about.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Stop.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
Yep. Stop it. There it is. Again, he's making a very good point, and she wants to shut down the conversation. Yet she says, respect me and don't cut me off. Yet that's literally what she's doing. Got it.
Stop.
Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit.
We having
It's
a
not
debate.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Nobody's making up anything, Ms. Seals. Nobody's making up anything. Black culture is toxic. What exactly is he making up?
gonna work. No, a debate has to be in facts.
You're
You are
putting off
literally
emotional
not,
liberalism
I am
right
not
now.
putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies
That's what y'all
based
do.
in
That's why-
Unfounded lies. Black culture is toxic. Where is the unfounded lie? Where is the unfounded lie that this dude is talking about?
Misinformation. Remember they
It
did the
is
misinformation thing all
misinformation.
summer where everything
Look at this man.
They said
You're carrying a
misinformation,
chain around your neck of an
misinformation.
apartheid nation that actively wants to harm black people and
What about the
non-Jewish people.
apartheid-
Okay, so what does that have to do with the fact that black culture is indeed toxic? What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with the fact that black culture is toxic? Okay, so he's wearing a Star of David. And maybe Israeli people do want to hurt black people. That does not mean that black culture is not still toxic. Psych 98 says, I wish Pastor Manning was there to fully cook Amanda Seals twice on Sunday. Bruh. Pastor Manning would absolutely cook this hoe.
But let me bring it back. Let me bring it back.
Selling black people
Let me
in
bring
Africa
it. That was not happening
and
in the
put them in
context that you're
cages.
Yes, no, that was happening.
saying.
And they were selling
Let's
their own
bring it
people.
back.
Black people still sell
Okay.
their own people today too. By
I don't
the
know
way.
if I'm gonna last.
We're selling our own people.
I don't
today.
know.
I don't know if I'm going last. Translation, I can't rebuttal this nigga's point, so I'ma pretend like I don't know how long this gonna last. And look at her fake smile. I don't know if I'm going last, baby girl. No, you probably won't. This is what happens when people are sitting in front of you speaking facts.
If I'm going
You probably won't
last.
last with me.
I won't because your ignorance is so
See, y'all, that's
overwhelming.
Another ad hominem attack. She says your ignorance is so overwhelming. We still don't know what we're discussing. Okay, the last minute and 45 seconds of this quote unquote debate came right after he said black culture is toxic. Black culture is toxic. How is that ignorance?
Bro, y'all start name calling when y'all
No,
getting
it's
defeated
not
in an
name
argument.
calling. You won't have
Yes, it is. You said ignorance.
an argument because you keep cutting me off.
Oh, well, that's fine.
There it is. Talking about the conversation rather than actually conversating.
They don't let me go
You
back
won't
over. I
even.
made my
You won't.
point.
You didn't make your
I made
point.
my point.
Yes,
You
you did.
have
You
an
did.
point.
Okay with being
And let me
voted
just
out.
tell you about your point. You started off saying we believe in hard work.
Yeah.
And we believe in being compensated.
Reparations is not though. Reparations is not hard work. It's stealing. It's Robin Hood.
You said you believe in hard work.
Yes.
And you believe in being compensated for hard work.
Yes.
Were slaves compensated for their work?
They weren't.
Oh my God. Do you know what the definition of slavery is? You know what the definition of slavery is? Involuntary servitude. Involuntary servitude. Okay? Slaves are not supposed to get paid. If slaves did get paid, they would be employees. Okay? Number one. Number two, slavery was legal back then. Not saying it was right, but it was legal. This is why Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery after the Civil War in 1865. That's the second thing. Pardon me. That's the second thing. So she can talk about slavery all... Slaves didn't get paid? What are you talking about? You want to know how slaves got paid? They got to live. That's how they got paid. That's how they got paid, okay? You ever heard that term, I'm going to beat you like a runaway slaves? Why would slaves run away? Because they're not getting paid. They get to pay with their lives. Unbelievable.
Compensated for their work. But why should people who are sitting at home playing video games, smoking marijuana,
are you sitting at home playing a video game?
What does that, why is she asking him, are you sitting at home playing video games? What is she talking about?
Are you sitting at home playing a video game? Am I sitting at home playing a video game? No. And I don't know who these people are that you're talking about, because the majority of the black community is not sitting at home playing video games.
The majority of the black community is doing a lot of things.
Where are you getting that statistic?
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
I knew I was going to be surrounded by ignorance, but damn.
There it is. See, she's taking another, there it is, another shot. Oops, she's taking another shot at the audience, another ad hom attack against the audience. I knew I was going to be surrounded by ignorance. Guys, you want to know why she keeps doing this? Because people are coming in here with smoke. People are coming in here and cooking this bitch. So what she's trying to do is she's trying to turn down the heat by saying, oh my God, I'm being surrounded by ignorance. As if to sort of halfway imply, if you come in and go toe to toe with me, then that must also mean that you're ignorant.
Go. Hello. My hand's wet from the bottle.
My hands are sweaty because I'm nervous. We both got sweaty hands. Okay. So I just wanted clarity because I think it'd be helpful. Mm-hmm. You said radical. I wanted just clarity on that. And then also with the reparations, you said it's not just money, it's other things. I just want to know, like, what do you see as like the grand picture of what would help?
The grand picture of what would help?
Of reparations. Like, what does that look like to you?
Oh, great. What reparations looks like to me is a combination of reparations and remunerations. And reparations are about repair for...
Okay, so right off the bat, you can already tell that this woman is a misandrist. Okay? Every man that had come up there was sort of a low-key dig, some sort of a low-key insult, all these demonstrative, hyperbolic statements and facial expressions. Yet when a woman sits down in front of her, now she wants to have a conversation.
Damages that have been caused based on harm. Remunerations is a monetary response to work that has not been paid for. So if you come...
Okay, yeah, but I'm not entitled to compensation for work that I never did personally. Like, that's just not how it works. If I didn't do the work, I don't deserve the money from it. Okay? That's like saying, all right, Donovan, your grandfather worked for, Woolworths for 5 years and he was underpaid by, I don't know, $5 an hour or something here. No, they're not giving that to me. Get out of here.
Paint my house.
Rough Rufus says Chappelle's show will tell you what reparations would look like. No, I told you guys earlier in the conversation. You guys want to know what reparations would look like? Reparations would look like what it looks like every tax season. Reparations would look like what it looks like every tax season. Ghost Artist says, let Myron get in a room with this bitch. She would leave in tears. Yeah, she would never debate Myron. She never would.
And I don't pay you. You can take me to court and get remunerations for the work that you have done. So we're actually owed both in this nation as black people. And there are incredibly just clear-cut records that show the buying and selling and purchasing of slaves, the work that was done, also the intellectual property that was stolen from slaves, right? Because there was...
Oh, give me a break. Slaves weren't in fucking labs. Bitch, what were slaves doing? Inventing the wheel? Get out of here.
So much inventing that was happening. And there is...
And what exactly did slaves invent? I'd like to know. I'd like to know what slaves invented.
It's also quite a bit of...
King Life says, I can't lie, we need a fried chicken museum. Yo! Hey! Yo! Look, man, hey! I say it all the time. Look. We talk shit about niggas, but let's not... Look, let's keep it a stack. We all got a little nigga in us, don't we? We all got a little nigga in us, don't we? Right? Who's here for the... who is here... Who is here for the Fried Chicken Museum? Who's here for the Fried Chicken Museum? Earlier, I put up a poll that asked, which is worse, convicting the innocent or acquitting the guilty? 22% of you said acquitting the guilty. 77% of you said convicting the innocent.
Other reparations that are being discussed as it relates to property being...
Oh, Sexy Lamb says, nah, man, we invented peanut butter. Hang on a second. Let me check that. Hold up. Let me check that. Who was this that said that? Who said that? Sexy Lamb says, who invented peanut butter? I would disagree. Who invented peanut butter? Marcus Gilmore Edson in 1884. He invented peanut butter. He invented peanut butter. No, George Washington Carver. I think George Washington Carver invented soap. And George Washington Carver worked a lot with peanuts, and he had a lot of inventions. He had a lot of inventions with peanuts, including, I believe, soap. But yeah, like, dude, like niggas love to claim that they invented shit that they didn't invent, just like feminists do, right? Feminists invented Wi-Fi. Nope. No, they didn't. Feminists did not invent Wi-Fi. Stop it.
Stolen as it relates to, again, redlining and the inability for black people to get loans, etc. And these impediments being
etc.
solely based on their...
It is not etc.
race.
As far as like discrimination.
Yes, like they're being solely based on their race, it not being about anything other than you're black so you can't, right? And so when it's very clear cut like that, there are very distinctive responses to that can be done through a cash payment as well as through measures that...
Who invented the stoplight? Snowdemi asks, Garrett Morgan. Looks like Garrett Morgan, a black man, invented the traffic light. So there we go.
Are being done to create funds for creating resources and responses like housing, like access to food, access to education, etc.
And it's funny because niggas like niggas love to point out stuff like this. Yeah, black people, we invented traffic lights. You want to know? Do you want to know what a guy like Garrett Morgan? You want to know how he would be treated by the black community? He'd be called a sellout, a coon, and Uncle Tom, right? So niggas love to say, well, Garrett Morgan created the stoplight. Yes, he did. But you niggas wouldn't claim him if his ass were alive today. So all of a sudden now you want to claim him?
That certain communities have not had access to because of the fallout from these things.
And I just had a quick question for clarifying. With the funds, I'm wondering, where do you think those should come from? Like the actual money, like is that we're raising money? Is it taxes? Like what does that look like?
Well, I think what they've been doing with these different reparations committees is they're looking at, all right, well, how much has this city or how much has this town...
Dreadlock says traffic light is trash. No, the traffic light was actually fucking genius. Ebel says, I'm glad for whoever invented toilet paper. Yo! Real shit. Real fucking shit. Shout out to Mac with the $1 Cash App. Thank you for that.
Or how much has this country gained from the estimated amount that was stolen from these people, right? So they're looking at like, what is this wage amount? For instance, like if you look at during that time, okay, what was the wage amount that a hired worker would get for the same work, all right? And so we're looking at how is that wage not provided and what is that pool that is being created? And then we're looking at, all right, where can that wage come from in terms of how has that wage been applied? So there are spaces where this is very clear. I think the last thing that you asked about was the difference between liberal and radical.
Yeah, please.
Ultimately, the concept of...
Do you see how respectful she's being with this woman? Do you see how respectful she's being with this woman? She's talking to her reasonably. She's talking to her rationally. Yeah, listen, she's still being a liberal about it. But she's speaking much more respectfully to the woman than she is the man. So we already know this woman hates men.
Liberalism is really just not Republican, right? I mean, that's essentially what it's become.
I would disagree with that, but I understand that's your stance.
There's a very generic concept of what liberalism is in the sense that it's simply saying that I am a part of the bipartisan mind frame, but I am not a Republican. It's a mindset.
Oh my God. It's bitch babble is what this is.
It doesn't always show up in action, but it's a mindset that says, I don't support extremes in certain ways, or, I want the government to show up in certain ways. I know there's a conservative point of view that says there should be less government, but even though it just says that, the action is very different. The radical mind state simply is living opposite to our colonizers, which is an imperialist, capitalist mind state, and radical blacks do not believe.
Psych98 says black men created the lawnmower, the typewriter, the elevator, the super soaker. Oh my God! Hold up. The super soaker, the air conditioner, the saddles for horses, etc. Okay, good stuff.
That is anyway.
Oh, Psych98 also says we need a oh my God, he said we need a barbecue ribs museum, bruh. Who you telling? Shit. Yo, we definitely need a barbecue ribs museum. You kidding me?
For us to have liberation.
Thank you for explaining that.
And thank you for being very respectful.
Look at that. Do you see that? Ding-a-ling-a-ling. Thank you for being respectful. So she is clearly showing a delineation between the way she treats men and the way she treats women. Got it.
We're told to be respectful. We're not your enemies.
Surrounded is now a podcast, available wherever you listen. Search Surrounded plus So you say that black on black crime is due to underfunding and over-policing, essentially.
Yes.
I actually don't necessarily disagree with one of those. Okay. I think that, however, the government, who do you think should be responsible for the funding piece of the black community? Should that be something that the government should step into, or should that be something that we as black people need to handle ourselves? Dr. Jordan Peterson and even Thomas Sowell and several others have stated one thing, that poverty and crime, there's a positive correlation. There's also a positive correlation in the black community of absentee fatherism being one of the root causes.
Oh, JF says, what kind of sauces will be available? I mean, that's racist. You know what? You might have a point, actually.
Leading into
Dreadlock. Dude, Dreadlock said all trash. All right, Dreadlock woke up and chose violence. He thinks everybody sucks.
Black males that grew up without a father are 10 times more likely to engage in
here's the fact check on the right. It says, research clearly shows there is a correlation between absent fathers and a higher likelihood to engage in criminal activity. Researchers have reached different conclusions on the exact percentage. Data from Florida Atlantic University found that children, in general, with an incarcerated parent are 5 to 6 times more likely to become offenders.
Activity. And so I think
Can I put a pin right there and ask you a question?
Ask me whatever you like.
What is the root cause of there being less fathers present?
Bad decision making on the part of the fathers.
Oops! Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. She says, what is the root cause for fatherless people? Bad decision making with the fathers. See what she's going to do. What she's going to do, she's going to try to blame the decisions of these niggas on cops. No. Sexy Lamb says, dudes put together, she's not used to that. No, she is not. That's why she looks confused as to how to take this dude. Let's rewind a little bit.
Are 10 times more likely to engage in criminal activity. And so I think
Can I put a pin right there and ask you a question?
Ask me whatever you like.
What is the root cause of there being less fathers present?
Bad decision making on the part of the fathers. We live in a patriarchal system. Like it or not, men have dominated the socioeconomic, economic, and political power of this country and the world since our existence. So bad decision making, especially when we focus on the black community, is the root cause of fatherlessness.
What type of decisions?
Oh my God!
Women we decide to lay down and have children with.
Woo! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! This dude is absolutely cooking.
With the seeds that we plant in women. No woman can get pregnant without a man planting a seed inside of her. So therefore...
So it's marriage.
Well,
that's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said the root cause is baby mamas and baby daddies. He ain't saying marriage.
Part of it. That's marriage is a part of it. Okay. But the true piece that I'm looking at is connectedness between familial units. The black community was at its economically strongest while being at its poorest during the segregation era. Prior to 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King in his last speech said that we have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of Canada and more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. That was when we were economically at our poorest. Yet 85% of our black children were growing up with a father in the home. There was less black on black crime. There was less disenfranchisement.
Why was there less black on black crime?
Because we needed to live together. We had to stick by each other.
Oh God, this guy has all the answers.
What was there also less of?
I'm not sure where you're leading. That's a leading question. I don't like
You don't like this?
I don't like leading questions.
No. He said he didn't say you don't like this. He says, I don't like leading questions. Sweetie, I don't know what you're laughing about. He is kicking your ass. Like, what are you laughing about? Oh, you don't like this? No, you don't like it. You don't like it.
I like direct stuff.
So essentially, when we were living in our own communities, we were also policing our own communities. So we were not being used as statistics in the same way to determine how resources were provided to our own communities. When we were going to the government saying, hey, we deserve because we are supposed to be separate but equal, we weren't saying, hey, we want to be with y'all. We were essentially saying, we want what you are stating we deserve. And that is what all of the efforts of the civil rights movement has been. It's literally just been to say, you said when we got out of the Civil War that we would be considered citizens and all citizens should be getting equal access to these things. However,
okay, are we not getting equal access to these things? And guys, we've asked these questions. We've asked this question before. On the manosphere side, name me a right or a privilege that men have that women do not, and they can't do it. They can't do it. Women disingenuously say, "Well, let's talk about reproductive rights." Okay, let's talk about reproductive rights. Men, we don't have reproductive rights. Women do. A man can't have an abortion. A woman can. A man can't opt out of fatherhood. A woman can opt. Not only can a woman opt out of motherhood, she can make a man opt into fatherhood. So no. So I said all that to say this. The juxtaposition to that is name one right or privilege that white people have that black people do not. You see, gentlemen, and here's the thing. I'm not here to cry about it. I'm not here to cry about it, guys. Do women live life on easy mode? Absolutely. Especially attractive women. Not here to cry about it. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. But you know, but do you want to know? Do you really want to know? Pardon me. Oh, good Lord. Do you really want to know what the root of the problem is? Is that black people now have more rights in this country than white people. I said it. Black people have more rights in this country than white people. And not all of the rights that they have are exactly on the books. Black people are routinely given preferential treatment, advantages. They're given the latitude to be openly and nakedly racist. They're given the latitude to openly assault police officers, openly assault white people, and get away with it. So again, name me a right that white people have, or that white people have that black people do not. I'll wait.
You are actively allowing the Klan to harm us. You are actively allowing...
Who's killed more black people, the Klan or us?
I would like to continue that statement.
There it is. Who's killed more black people, the Klan or us? There it is. You're cooked. You're cooked. You're cooked. And she knew the answer to that question.
I let you speak uninterrupted. When we talk about this concept of who is harming us, we are really making a false claim when it comes to black on black crime, as if there isn't white on white crime. There's also this unnecessary effort to try and pathologize black on black crime in a way that you don't try to pathologize white on white crime. There are white people killing each other every single day. Now, they may be unjust.
There it is. White people do it too. White people do it too. White people do it too. It's always the whataboutism. White people kill each other all the time. That's exactly right. But here's the difference. Here's the difference. White people kill each other all the time, but they don't exalt the worst. Guys, the black community, we are the only community in the world that exalts the worst of us. We exalt and glamorize murder, rape, abortion, violence. We are the only group of people in the world who regularly big up our deplorables. Just like old boy said earlier, King Von talking about run 'em up, shoot 'em up. Dude, the rap industry, all of it, it's crazy.
Skis in the pictures after they shoot up their whole family, but nonetheless, there are white people killing each other every single day. Now, much of the reason
what's that got to do? MLD is in the house. MLD says this was insane. Yep. It absolutely was insane. This was absolutely effing crazy. Modern Life Dating is in the building. Good to see you, brother.
You may see more numbers in terms of black on black crime, or for two reasons. One, the statistics be lying all the time. We have seen this.
Oh, here we go. The statistics be lying all the time. So I'm sorry. If statistics be lying all the time, are you not telling me that black people have killed more black people than white people? Unbelievable, man.
Okay,
we have seen this in a real way. So in New Jersey. So in New Jersey.
What numbers can be trusted? Because with the previous speaker,
I'm about to tell you right now.
Okay, so
see, there it is. See, she says statistics be lying all the time. Yet, what about your statistics? You see again. This is what bad faith actors and actresses do. This is what bad faith actors and actresses do when they argue in bad faith. My statistics are valid, but yours aren't. Here's another favorite. Well, I'd like to know where you got your statistics. No. They're not interested in where you got your statistics. All they want to do is attack the validity of your statistics. That's all. That's all. Just like that pixie bitch. I would love to know where you got your statistics from. No, you don't. You just want to attack the source.
What sources
you can't such number. No, I'm literally about to give you an example of numbers not being able to be trusted.
Okay, talk to me.
That's what I was doing. Okay, then.
Dude, look, last word type of bitch. Last word type of bitch. Listen to this.
No, I'm literally about to give you an example of numbers not being able to be trusted.
What? Okay, talk to me.
Okay, talk to me.
That's what I was doing.
That's what I was doing. Last word.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Okay, I'm listening.
Okay, then listen.
Oh, the mic.
Okay, then listen. See? There it is. She has to have the last word. She has to have the last word. And you wonder why black people don't date niggas like this. You wonder why we don't.
So listen, in New Jersey, they had a statistic that was created by the police department that said, look at how many black people are committing crimes. Look at how crazy this number is. These black people are so exorbitantly violent. Look at this. And
that's because they are.
Then people went and actually matched the names that they were booking with the faces of the actual people incarcerated. And it was proven that they were lying.
So that's one. So that's one.
Oh my God. What is she talking about? What are you talking about? What study is this? You mean, well, hold on. So you mean to tell me Laquan Travius was a white boy? Is that what you mean? Laquan Travius Jenkins. That's a white boy in prison, is it? Jamal Smith. That's also a white boy? Huh? John Quavius. John Quavius upper crust the third. You gonna tell me that's a Latino? No, bitch, they didn't take those. Dude, what she is doing right now, she is literally lying to win an argument. This is what niggas and women do. This is what niggas and women do. Niggas lie to win arguments. Women lie to make arguments. And this guy's not buying her bullshit, which is why she's having this adverse reaction.
Hold on, no, you're talking to somebody that works as a police dispatcher when I'm not making content. So here's the thing. You see what? You're about to see the truth if you just give me a second. Like Trump said, just give me a second. I'm going to do the weave, but give me a minute.
Well, here's what you all keep doing.
See, there it is. Now she's going to have a conversation about the conversation.
Keep interrupting me when I'm talking.
There it is. There it is. There it is. This guy is absolutely cooking her. So what does she do? She wants to talk about the conversation.
And you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. So if you want me to keep getting louder, I will do it. But ultimately, if I show you respect, give me the respect back. I let you talk. I let you make your points.
No, you didn't. You're sitting here cutting them off now, and now you're in your feelings.
Countering your points. And my points are just as valid as yours, even though you got a pocket
No, they're not.
square and a Church of Christ pin on your chest.
See, there she goes. There she goes.
Whatever.
Look at that. See, here's dude. This is how dumb niggas are. Watch.
Are just as valid as yours, even though you got a pocket square and a Church of Christ pin on your chest.
It's not a Church of Christ. It's
whatever.
Gotcha. See, she don't care. She's like, whatever. Now she's in her feelings.
It's a cross. Same difference. You got an American
flag. No, not the same difference. Church of Christ is very different.
You think you know something because you a cop, and ultimately
not a cop.
See, you think you know something because you a cop. See, there, dude, wrong again. Wrong again. He said he's a police dispatcher.
Ultimately, it's a cab all day over here. So let me make that clear. But let me also add to my point. My point is that you can sit here and blame black people on black people all day long and not acknowledge that we are forced into. You're coming to interrupt me again.
I haven't even said a word.
All right, that is flags.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You're coming to interrupt me again like you've done the entire time. All this woman is doing is having a conversation about a conversation. You guys have told me, so you guys are telling me in the chat, that this woman dude, Charlemagne the God doesn't even like this chick? Like, if Charlemagne the God doesn't want this chick to come on, holy shit, if he doesn't like her, nobody does.
Return to your seat.
It's a waste of my time. Y'all just want
See, there it is. Last word type of bitch. It's a waste of my time. Da-da-da-da-da-da. No, sweetie, you got cooked.
to be seen. I don't need to be seen.
I don't need to be seen, said by the woman wearing the amazing Technicolor dream coat. Got it.
Hello. How are you? I'm Jasmine the Pretty Bee.
Okay, so now she's going to be respectful. Now she's going to be respectful. She's going to be respectful because it's a woman.
Say less outfit. Okay.
Thank you.
So this is my thing. I think the premise of your question was black on black crime. So I think I'm coming from a place, and I guess my issue is having had my biological father murdered by a black man, having had my cousin shot in the head by a black man. We can talk numbers and statistics and what the people are doing, what the white man is doing and all that. But at the end of the day, I see when my family lives on the south side of Chicago, and I think you and I both can attest to this, and I'm not saying that there are not other factors, but we know that we kill each other at a disproportionate rate than any other race. Now, why?
Well, there it is. There it is. So clearly the way to get through to this woman, is to have another woman sitting across from her. Because only now will she acknowledge objective truth. What this woman just said was absolutely correct. Black people, we kill each other at a disproportionate rate.
We do that, and why 6,000 to 9,000 black men are going to be homicided or killed or whatever by the end of the year annually by other black men, whereas the likelihood of a black man being killed by a white police officer is less than 150 per year. We know that we kill each other at a higher rate. So I'm not debating that there are not factors at play, but because I've lived the experience as a black woman losing my father to be murdered by a black man walking down the street.
By the way.
No worries.
Oh, bitch. Oh, fuck out of here.
More powers combined.
Fuck out of here. Listen to this disingenuous apology.
But because I've lived the experience as a black woman losing my father to be murdered by a black man walking down the street.
By the way.
No worries. Thank you.
Look at that. I'm sorry to hear that, by the way. This is like when people walk by servicemen. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I remember when Devin and we were at Disney World. Long time ago. We saw this dude. This girl must have been 200, 250, 300 pounds. Covered in tattoos, pink hair, purple hair, whatever. Pink hair, purple hair, whatever the case may be. She walked by this dude who was clearly a veteran wearing a Vietnam hat. Thank you for your service. I was like, dude, she doesn't care about his service. She's virtue signaling. The reason why she said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You're not sorry about that woman's father. I don't care about that woman's father. I don't know this woman from a hole in the wall. And acting like you are sorry doesn't make you look any better.
Street in inner cities and different things, knowing that it's more likely that my own brother will rob and rape me than a white man or a white officer. We got to be real.
What's your proximity to white men in the south side of Chicago? Are there even white men around to rob and rape you at the same rate that there are black men?
There are white men around.
At the same rate?
There wasn't a lot of black people in there, but then that doesn't justify the fact.
So the argument that she's making is, well, the reason why you're more likely to get robbed and raped by black men is because you're around more black people, right? That's the argument that she's making. Sweetheart, white people are the majority in this country. White people are the majority. And yeah, the south side of Chicago might be the anomaly, okay? But the fact of the matter is that there are more white people in this country than any other race of people. And yet black people are still robbing, raping, and killing other black people at an alarming rate. AJ with the $5 super chat says, apparently losing a debate is racist. And facts are racist. If you say the obvious, then it's racist because she has no argument. Absolutely.
We're destroying each other. So even if we get
nothing,
like
we can agree on that.
Okay, because I feel like a lot of
nothing
times
justifies.
like, well,
I'm not a liberal.
I'm
not a liberal.
Okay, well I will say that.
Stop the cap.
You are a liberal. You're a liberal.
People that sometimes have your stance that are against conservatives, maybe they have this claim that they're making it up, they're making up the numbers. We know that we do that to each other. So I want to get to the root of the issue. Why are we killing each other? I think the root of the issue is we've lost our values and we've lost our resilience as black people. We sit there and we talk about what the white man did and we talk about slavery and everything like that, but we have no self-accountability and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that is my black grandmother, that is my black sister, you are my black sister, and you know that a black man is more likely to rob you or commit some type of crime against you. And that's what we need to get down to the issue of. And like you were talking about earlier, like, hey, well, what's going on? You know, what do you think the answer is to one of the brothers that were speaking? I think it's the breakdown of the family. I think, like he said, because of our poor choices. And what happens is we look at domestic violence, for example. When domestic violence, women or men are even attacked, what is the first thing we say? Is like, you know what? It's not your what? It's not your fault. So that's what we do. We hold on to this narrative that, well, it's not our fault and the issues in our community are not our fault. And the white man needs to give us something. The old white lady down the street is looking at me and I don't know why she got braids in her hair. And we focus on all these other stupid things that don't matter. We don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us. I believe that we can do that. That we, my mom's cousin, coming from the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A black man.
A nigga.
To the point,
like,
so
my point is
did you hear that? Get to the point so I can respond. See, there we go. More condescension. More condescension. Get to the point. Anytime somebody is cooking with gas, she always gets that 20-second timeout just to break that momentum. Look at this.
From the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A black man.
I need you to get to the point.
Like,
so
my point is that, no, and I'm not trying to be funny, unless, like you said, we're going to keep it respectful.
Yeah, but you're monopolizing the whole conversation.
See that? But you're monopolizing the whole conversation. There you go. She is getting absolutely flambéed, and she wants it to stop. This is her strategy. EP Signature with the $5 super chat says, I am from the south side of Chicago, and yes, there is a large amount of white people there. Of course there are.
Okay, I'm gonna let you speak, but let's not get the attitudes and stuff, because you're my sister and I respect you. So I
don't have an
attitude.
Oops! No, the fuck you didn't.
No, the fuck you didn't.
No, the fuck you didn't. There it is. See that? You done gone too far, bitch.
Shoot, I'm being direct to you, but you're literally speaking this, and you're not.
See, again, there it is. See, there it is. There it is. See, the bitch checked her. Bitch, don't bring the attitude to me, okay? I'm speaking fucking facts. You told me get to the point. Bitch, shut the fuck up, man, and let this bitch speak. See, again, this is, and somebody just said she's arguing in bad faith. Yeah, that's the understatement of the year.
To do that with me either.
Okay,
so you're stating your point, and you've been stating your point for quite some time.
So
you have a reason for me to respond.
Would you allow me to respond? So that's a better response. Go ahead.
The response that I have for you is that everything you're saying does not exist in a vacuum. I actually agree with you in that, yes, there has been an incredible denigration of black worth and black pride in this nation. I think it's also very important to acknowledge what has contributed to that. And to state that it is only black people that have contributed to that is a false flag. So we have to admit that. So in order to have this conversation around how we got here, you can't say, oh, well, we're caring about the white woman getting braids and that doesn't matter and this thing. All of that attaches. All of that is actually a very big part of the lack of worth of black people.
I'll ask you, do you think we're resilient? What does resilience mean to you? Do you think we have to be perpetual victims, or do you think that black people are resilient?
I think that those are two different conversations. I think they're...
Oh, here we go. See, so the answer is no. Got it.
I think that the concept of black people being victims is really trying to not provide accountability to where the root problem for the actual cause is.
No. That is the very definition of not taking accountability. You can talk about the root problem all you want to, but we as human beings, we are born with an inherent understanding of the difference between right and wrong. Okay? Nobody has to teach us how to lie. Right? When I was 3 or 4 years old, right? I wanted an extra cookie, I'd go and steal a cookie. Mom would come in, Alex, did you steal a cookie? Nobody said, okay, Alex, you're going to take that cookie, okay? You're going to take that extra cookie. And when mom finds out that cookie is gone, you tell her you didn't take it. No, nobody had to instruct me to lie to my mother to stay out of trouble. I inherently understood that stealing the cookie was wrong, so I wanted to lie to get out of trouble for doing the perceived wrong. So she can miss me with all this moralistic stuff. Manny Fresh with the $20 super chat says, yo, Donovan, honestly, you ever been robbed by a white person?
Nope.
Not only have I never been robbed by a white person, guys, I can't tell you how many fights I've been in. I can't tell you how many fights. I've been in a lot of fights. And I would say 80 to 90% of the men that I fought were black. I can count, I think I fought maybe 3 white guys, a couple of Latinos. Maybe. But every altercation, 80% of street fights, altercations I've been into, been with niggas. This is how they are. This is how they are. Black people don't, white people don't fuck with me, man. Civilized people don't fuck with me. Dude, I'm 6'2", I've got sleeve tattoos, and I have an attitude problem.
And if we keep saying that somebody is a victim and that doesn't mean that the other person should have to actually have accountability, then what are we really doing? You can do both. You can be a victim and be resilient.
How do we do both if you stay in the victimhood? That's my question.
But you're
Oops.
No, the fuck you didn't.
Uh-oh.
About black people staying in the victim place is also your point of view.
But how do we rise above it?
We continue to rise above it by 1, pouring into our communities with mutual aid, but 2,
mutual aid. In other words, more money. She wants more EBT.
By simultaneously making sure that we are challenging the systems that are in place to impede us. We have so many opportunities where we are trying to do mutual aid.
Damn, this nigga looks mad as hell.
And those things get disrupted by folks who want to have capitalist gain, by folks who want privatization. We used to have all these mom and pop businesses in our communities.
There's over 3 million black millionaires in America right now. You are an intelligent black woman that is successful.
That's irrelevant.
No one's stopping.
No, it's not irrelevant. There it is. There it is.
Me from doing anything. I'm an intelligent black woman that graduated and is
efforts have
successful.
tried to stop me from doing what I do. We are not all equal in our.
Yeah, this is your, like, I'm told, Ms. Seals, I am told, Ms. Seals, that, that this is your last opportunity. Like, you're not an intelligent black woman. This woman knows that you're not. Everybody knows you're not smart.
Capabilities. And we are not all equal in our ability to be invested in by others.
Oh, we're not. Oh. Wait, I'm sorry. Did she say we're not all equal?
We are not all equal in our.
We are not all equal. Oops. Uh-oh. Scott B says, translation, you're making me look bad. Stop. Yeah.
Capabilities. And we are not all equal in our ability to be invested in by others.
I agree.
We are not all equal in our trauma.
Are we resilient?
We can't say because it is a false equivalency.
I believe that every black person has resilience.
See, this is when you know someone's arguing in bad faith, when they try to change the question. When they don't want to answer the question that you ask them, you already know they're arguing in bad faith.
We keep trying to cause.
I'm so sorry. You've been voted out.
Oh,
First,
shit.
I want to kind of get rid of this like right-left ordeal. Mm-hmm. I really want to talk about just like our own personal views and what we've experienced, what we've seen. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to your claim about black on black.
Oh, by the way, go Padres. They are now tied for first place in the NL West.
Crime. I really do believe, and I think a lot of people here do believe, especially based off of.
Again, guys, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, 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 very much for your generosity. By the way, directly following the show, we are going to move the party to Rumble, where we are going to break down episode 6 of Love is Blind UK Season 2. Love is Blind UK Season 2, Episode 6 is going to be live and in living color on rumble.com/Donovan Sharp. Again, that is rumble.com/Donovan Sharp. We are actually simulcasting to Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter. At the conclusion of episode 54 of the Hard R podcast, we will be doing a breakdown of episode 6 of Love is Blind UK Season 2. Let's
personal experiences and everything, that it is just lack of accountability. In the Black community, we need to start taking responsibility for our actions and stop pointing our fingers at other people and the white man. Because to be honest,
why can't both happen at the same time? Both are causes.
Because you got to clean your own house before you go complain.
Why?
Because if you're
dirtying my house, if you keep pouring shit into my house and I'm cleaning it, why can't I do both? Why can't I clean my house and bar the windows from you shitting on my house?
Because it begins with responsibility within us. If we're like, okay, the white person's doing this to me, the white person's not, we're not going to ever come to the core of the issue.
No, see, but they are. See, this woman doesn't want to take accountability. This woman wants to be the perpetual victim.
We are.
We need to take
responsibility. And it's not even just the white person, because now we have seen very many races, people of very many backgrounds that are actively participating in the effort to keep a working class down. Like that is absolutely a fact. It's not just white people.
Ebel, tell me if that's the E-B-E-L-E. Could you tell me how to pronounce your name? Because I hate mispronouncing people's name, because you've made a lot of good comments and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name correctly. He says there are people on Section 8 and EBT taking cruises with passports to the Dominican Republic and even Belize and other people who have never been on government help but work and can't afford such trips. There you go. There you go. There you go. The EBT community on Carnival, dude, half of those niggas are on EBT. Half of those niggas be on Section 8.
So I don't attend to that. But I will say the reality of there being systems in place is real. Over-policing is a real thing. You know what's also been really real?
Over-policing is a real thing? No. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Over-policing is a real thing. Has she not watched these police videos? Like, does she not know? Does she not see what's going on out here in these streets?
Is the effort of violence interruption in certain communities, right? So we've seen this in Detroit, we've seen this in New York, we've seen this in Baltimore, where there are communities that have said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be like a neighborhood watch for our community. So that before the popo even come, before 12 even rolls up in here, we're gonna actually put ourselves in between the conflict and
Yeah, that's not happening. That is absolutely positively not happening. Ain't nobody self-police in the ghetto, bitch. Ain't nobody self-police in the ghetto. I don't know where the fuck she's getting these facts from.
Down. And that has been incredibly effective. But you know what? It's not funded. It's not funded. And you would think that like city councils and mayors and governors would say
more funded. She wants more handouts.
Shit, you know what? This is going to save us so much money, because why? Taxpayers keep having to pay for the fault of these police officers. And even though we say, well,
yeah, taxpayers keep having to pay for the fault of niggas. I'm sorry, sweetheart. Cops aren't the problem in this country. Niggas are. Niggas are the problem. Sweet cheeks. Niggas are the problem. It's not cops. It's niggas. Black people who act like apes. Black people who act like animals. Phoenix Light Games with the $5 super chat says, more white people have helped me than black people. If anything, niggas have tried to keep me down, because if I rise up, it highlights their inadequacies and failures. Hey man, you're preaching to the choir. You are preaching to the choir.
Only a certain number of people have died. That doesn't dispel the fact that a large amount, more black people are imprisoned than any other group in this nation. And
yes, because more black people commit violent crimes than any other group of people. That's why that there are more black people in prison than any other group of people. AJ with the $5 super chat says, accountability is the kryptonite of our minority community. Absolutely.
Yep.
That is not by accident.
Again, I started with accountability, and it just seemed like the
I disagree with you.
No,
I mean, I don't disagree.
Okay, you can disagree with accountability all you want to. That doesn't mean you're right.
I don't disagree with you.
Because here's the thing. Look at our media. Look at rap. Look at what we're glorifying.
You're right.
We're glorifying violence.
Who's we? Who's
the black community.
Who controls the
black community?
Who controls the distribution of these sources of media?
And who takes it in?
There it is. Who takes it in? Who takes it in? That's like me suing McDonald's because I'm obese. No, it's not McDonald's job. It's not McDonald's job to make sure that I meet my caloric, that I abide by my caloric restrictions every day. Not a chance. Not a chance. That's my responsibility. My responsibility. Elvin M with the $15 Cash App. He says the monkey nigga matriarchy sucks. Absolutely.
Listen, if you're okay, so let me put it in this context.
Who takes it in? There it is. She can't answer the question. She's not answering the question because she knows it's what they take in.
Have a company, right? And you guys are my employees, and I determine what you get to eat every day. that's also going to determine how you exist in this company, right? Like if you come to work and I say the only thing you can eat is processed foods and fried foods and you're not going to get to have the best vegetables, etc. What's that going to affect? Your health, that's going to affect your ability to operate.
That's probably one of the worst analogies I think I've ever heard. That's the worst analogy I think I've ever heard. If you were a company and you were giving me shit food and I knew that the shit food was bad for me, I simply wouldn't eat it. You're not putting a gun to my head. You're not putting a gun to my head to force me to eat the food. I'm your employee. I'm your most valuable asset. So if you are giving me shit food, I don't have to eat it. I have a choice, right? So if white people are putting out rap music, it's not the fault of white people that niggas take it to heart. It's the niggas that consume the shit. Again, she's misplacing blame. Well, it's not the rap music that's the problem. It's the distributors. No, it's the rap music itself,
etc.
There it is. King Life just solved it. Just bring your own lunch.
This is how the United States operates. There's a lot of us that don't want to admit that as much as accountable as we want to be, all of our brains also don't operate the same way. Some of us are much more apt to be indoctrinated than others. That's a fact. There is a 1% of people that knows this. There's a whole show called Mad Men that's about advertising, etc. And if we don't acknowledge...
Oh my God, here we fucking go. Another black woman, another libtard citing make-believe in an example. Mac with the $10 super chat says, also, while these black women are on Section 8 and receiving child support, the father said their children can't even leave the country. Meanwhile, black women are living their best life. Dude.
Multiple things at the same time, then we simply cannot stop it. We can be as accountable as we want to be. And I hope
you can be as accountable as you want to be, but you choose not to be.
That if you're right, because I hope you're right. I will.
Oh, stop. No, you don't.
Stop the
No, you
cap.
don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't hope he's right. You don't hope he's right. You want to know why? Look. You want to know why black people argue for reparations? You want to know why niggas argue for reparations? Because they know it's never going to happen, right? They know it's never going to happen. That's why they continue to argue and bitch and moan about reparations. Because they know it's never going to happen. They want something to bitch and moan about.
It was a situation where if black people could just be accountable, then nothing else would matter. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case because we have seen when we have Black Wall Street in Tulsa and we have Black Wall Street in Durham, that when we actually do hold our own and build our own communities, they will still come and run it down.
Yo, dude, I swear to God, these niggas always talking about shit that happened way back in the day. Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street. Ay.
You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
Oh my God.
Joshua.
Hello, Joshua.
Yeah. So I have two claims I want to settle. So I'm originally from New Orleans, right? And I've seen black on black crime my whole life, right? Yes. I don't believe it have nothing to deal with the police. It's more with the
Sean Morris with the $10 super chat says said I've had niggas jump me, rob me, and steal from me. Every time someone helps me, it was a white person. I don't owe niggas or the hood anything, and I have nothing but malevolent indifference for them. Woo! Ay. Oh my God.
community because there's a lot of pride that's in that city, but to the point where this person can't tell me nothing, I'm gonna kill him, I'm gonna take him out.
Yeah.
Is that simple in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Now Cali is probably the same way, but I feel like every state is different. You probably the way how your belief is might be right, but in New Orleans it's a little different. Also, my second claim is this: we proclaim so much about Black Lives Matter, but when it comes down to a white person killing a black person, it's a big deal. It just don't make no sense to me.
Do you know what the statement Black Lives Matter is actually stating?
Yeah, well, like, just started out from George Floyd.
Start off from Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, okay.
So Black Lives Matter is really simply just stating that
a scam.
When black people are murdered by the police, that our lives should matter.
Well, they do. But what happens if the cop is acting in self-defense?
And that oftentimes it is not
like Carmelo Anthony allegedly did.
Considered. It is oftentimes presented as we deserved it, or we must have done something to cause it.
Oh, what you mean like George Floyd? You mean like George Floyd who overdosed on fentanyl and attempted to pass off a fake bill and fought the cops for 30 minutes?
And that our lives are disposable. We also don't ever see true justice on the same level as others when the police incur violence against black people. So Black Lives Matter is a statement asserting that our lives are worth justice, our lives are worth preservation, and we have seen in innumerable instances a level of restraint operated between the police and people of other races that they do not seem to carry with black people. So that's what Black Lives Matter.
That's because black people don't operate with a level of restraint. See, no, she's right. She's right. Cops don't act with a level of restraint, at least not in the beginning. But the reason why cops don't act with a level of restraint when dealing with niggas is because niggas don't deal with cops with a level of restraint. See, what niggas like this want to do, they want to give niggas, they want niggas to reserve the right to assault police officers and commit crimes against police officers and threaten police officers with no consequences. Well, cops don't have any restraint. Well, of course they don't have any restraint. When you're being kicked and spit on and threatened, well, yeah, you do what you got to do. Danny Gonzalez says, so what's your point then? You said we Mexicans know how white people work. What are the white people doing that is bad? Unless you're trying to also place blame on white people, of course.
Matter means. It doesn't mean that anyone else's life doesn't matter. It means that ours matter just as much as their lives.
That's good that you cleared it out for people.
I appreciate you. Now, as it comes to New Orleans, tell me this. Well, first of all, it was I think it's the senator of Louisiana who literally made a campaign ad, Kennedy it was, that said, do you want Louisiana to be run by crackheads? Like he said that, like straight
up.
They
have a bunch of them. Yeah.
So here's my question about New Orleans. Would you say that New Orleans gets, that particular areas of New Orleans, for instance, like the Ninth Ward?
Yeah, the Ninth Ward's crazy, but I'm just saying it's crazy.
The lower Ninth Ward.
Would you say that funding and attention is dispersed equally across New Orleans in terms of resources? Because I know that from living through Katrina, that is absolutely.
See, here we go. More victimization. More victimization.
No, yeah, I agree with you in that case. Everybody's not equal when it comes down to resources. For sure, I agree with you.
Here's the thing I want to just impart is that I think that we have a very distorted version of what resiliency and what restorative practice is, because we live in a time where we're seeing so many things happen so fast. So like we've seen technology like advance so fast, right? Like we have seen just our lives shift so fast that I think that we forget that as humans, our ability to recalibrate, to heal from trauma is simply not the same as the things that we are watching in technology. And so we cannot just casually think that people just get over.
Man Up Academy says, Donovan, I just wanted to say I love the new pup. Absolutely, man. Shout out Fernando.
Over things. Katrina, people in New Orleans are still reeling from Katrina.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
So when we talk about the amount of crime and violence that is still living and happening explicitly in Katrina.
Mac with the $10 super chat says, look at every liberal radical movement in history. It's always backed by feminist Marxists. The leaders of Black Lives Matter were literally black Marxist feminist women. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We have to also talk about the amount of trauma, the amount of drug use, the amount of policing, the amount of all of these things that physically harm people across the world, not just in the United States, across the world, in communities that are not being served, and how those communities never get the chance to, quote unquote, pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
Yeah, I agree. I personally agree, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree, yeah, for sure, yeah. Of course, yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
No problem.
Okay, before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thanks so much to Straight Arrow News for powering the fact checks in this video. Surrounded, or click the...
My next claim is systemic racism isn't a theory. It's our lived reality backed by data and history.
Hello?
Hello, John.
John Samuel.
Hello, John Samuel. First name, first name. All right.
Blame my parents.
Hi, parents.
I want to listen to you first. Why do you feel that? Why do you feel that way?
Oh, John went to debate training before he came here. Okay. Ultimately, I feel that way because it's simply just facts. It's in the books, and that's why there have been laws to challenge it. There have been innumerable instances where actual systems were created specifically for the impediment of black people to advance. We have also seen numerous instances where there were things created for black people to advance, and they were taken back under the auspices of we don't want them to advance. Ultimately, systemic racism exists in our institutions on a government level, in our institutions, whether it's prison.
Why doesn't this bitch just go back to Africa? Like, guys, this is really sort of the overarching point here. If niggas don't like it here in America, if America is such a terrible place to live, why are you still here? If you don't like America, you do not have to be here.
Or schools, and it is undeniable because they are actively trying to reinstate it right now.
Can you give me an example of one of those systems that you believe perpetuates that cycle of racism?
Redlining.
Redlining? Okay.
Yes.
And how does that can you elaborate? Like, how is that affecting the Black community?
Do you know what redlining is?
I know a little bit. I'm not an expert.
Redlining was a system that was created to determine property values, and that said Black people can only live in certain neighborhoods and not in other neighborhoods. And the redlining lowered the property values of those Black neighborhoods by stating that they were more savage, that they were more dangerous, etc. Thus, they were not able to own property that was on a level of par to their white counterparts. There were also many efforts at just simply not allowing Black people to get loans for property, putting them in predatory scenarios where they were being essentially unable to own land. And that inability to own land, but still having to pay out a mortgage, if you will, or a rent, continue to put Black people in a conundrum of not being able to excel at the same economic rate as their white counterparts.
What I'm hearing from you, if I'm hearing correctly, is it feels like in the United States that for a while we've kind of established these systems at their foundation, and they've continued on, and they've continually just oppressed Black people, and we haven't dismantled them, and we haven't done much to them, so they continue to complete the cycle. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Well, in many of these systems, they have been dismantled maybe in name, but because this country has never dismantled the culture of racism, they end up still living in practice. So we see that, for instance, in the way that the appraisal system works. Now, we saw there was an entire documentary on how appraisals have been also very racist, home appraisals, right? So your ability to sell your house for the value that it deserves. Right. There were a number of homes, particularly in Marin County, California, where Black people had one appraisal when they had their Blackness up. So they had their dashikis hanging, and they had their, they had their Black Good Times poster. But then when they removed all those items and put up white people and a dog in the house, and then had their white friends come and pose as the owners of the home, the appraisal was significantly higher. And we have seen that in a number of instances. Now, of course, that is just Marin County, but there are a number of other scenarios where this has been relayed. And that's why there were certain efforts by the Democratic Party to say, okay, well, we're going to try and step in for this.
I actually remember that case. And
Dana Gonzalez with the $10 super chat says, I'm Native American. I can't stand it when my people blame white people for all of our problems. It's our fault we didn't take military seriously and protect our own land. There you go. There you go, man. There it is.
Watched it with a family, and I thought that was just really just terrible. But the problem I guess I have with systemic racism is, I guess for somebody like me, where my family comes from, the Deep South, you probably don't even know it, Aliceville, Alabama. Okay. That's where my grandparents are from. And my grandpa came, if you saw the house that he grew up in, I'm not trying to be funny, it looked like a slave house. It was just, they grew up in poverty. And the fact that he was able to go from that and get the highest rank enlisted in the United States Navy amidst all these systems, so to speak, and he was able to buy his own house out in San Diego. He was able to pass on these things to his son, my dad, and his grandchildren. Now I'm able to get an education. I was able to get my undergrad, my master's. That the great grandson of enslaved peoples can now say that educated and can even run for Congress. I don't see how these systems are still in place as they were before. Because before, I would say you do have a little bit of a foothold. You do have some validity there. But I just think these days, when we call it systemic racism, really what we're calling it is those people who may still be in those institutions, those individual people who may actually be racist and hold some racist ideals, who are continuing to perpetuate this. I believe it's those people. So in all reality, the problem is not the systemic racism. The problem is us. The problem starts with those people who are perpetuating these racist ideals. And so I feel like just to attack these systems is just, it's nonsensical.
Who's running the systems?
Like which system? You're talking about
Whether
Congress,
government?
Here we go.
Prison industrial complex. We're seeing this now with immigration and ICE. We're seeing this also with the effort at not making schools available for equal level of schooling available with the voucher systems that are now allowing tax dollars to allow people to go to segregated schools.
Right.
Who is controlling those systems? So for instance, in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
So in Tennessee, you have a Senate and a House of Representatives that is largely controlled by white Republicans, and that have actively said, we are not going to consider what the people want in our constituencies. We are going to simply just do what we want to do, to the point where they have removed.
So it's only in those states that have largely white legislators or largely white people are controlling the systems. I'm not trying to.
All right, guys, I'm so sorry. You haven't voted out. Please return to your seat.
Dude, what happened? I thought he was asking good questions.
Oh, Lord.
So to go back to your claim, you basically said something about Tennessee and how they said what exactly you said they are not in favor of what their people said, or?
Yeah, Tennessee has actively said, we're not really listening to our constituency. We're not even going to allow them in the gallery when we're voting on certain issues. So for instance, like when it comes to guns in the classroom, the constituency very largely said, we do not want guns in the classroom. And they were like, well, we don't care. We're going to do it anyway. We've also seen them actively silence members of the House of Representatives who are Black and not silence someone who is doing the exact same action who is a white woman, Gloria. Shout out to the Justins.
You are right, actually, on this aspect. I did actually remember a time where 2 Black Democrats, I believe, were actually not allowed to speak. And that was interesting. And I found that really insane, considering they're representatives of the state.
Yeah.
So no, I totally can get where you're coming from, but I don't think that's a institutionalized problem where it's a law per se. I think it's more so a personal vendetta in a way.
What's the difference if you are a lawmaker and you're exacting your personal choice through impediment of law change?
So if we're going to go based on systemic racism, it has to be institutionalized, which means it has to be written into law, made public. When it comes to that aspect, that's not necessarily made public by law. That's made public by choice and actual discrimination by person.
So I can give you an example in Tennessee.
Okay.
So for instance, in Tennessee, we can say that they are put into law that now tax dollars, people's the public tax dollars will be supporting voucher systems. The voucher systems for the schools allow parents to choose whatever school they want their child to go to using taxpayer money. And these schools can be private schools. And private schools are not in any way limited from creating systems of segregation. And this is actually how segregated schools was carried out previous to Brown versus Board of Education. So this is a systemic example. We also can acknowledge that systemic examples come from not always it being written into law. And I think that is a real straw man argument for the way that a lot of colorblind racism is carried out in the United States. And what happens when we do that is we ignore the fact that most of the people making the laws are not going to put their racism on the books.
Oh, that's true. Obviously not going to put it on the books. But when it comes to the Civil Rights Acts of 1964, then you also want to talk about the one in 1968. They did actually give more fair housing equality.
That was
obviously,
the goal.
Yeah, that's true.
But you see, that's the thing. It's like, so that's a difficult part of
Rufus says, is this 1.5 speed? Yes, it is.
Not changing a culture. You can change the law all day, but as Martin Luther King Jr., as the Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. talks about in his final book, he says, I feel like I integrated my people into a burning house because he understood America to be a place of morality.
Well, when it came back to, even back in the 1960s, like Lyndon B. Johnson actually proposed many systems in place.
He did, but after that, people still got lynched.
Well, I can't really say.
After that, people got lynched. See, it does not matter. Anytime somebody mentions something good that somebody did, oh yeah, but people still got lynched. Like, I swear to God.
That's a systemic problem. That's definitely a personal heart problem. Those are more people's individual choices against someone else.
But if the system that's in place does not incarcerate those people or create any repercussions for those actions, then it is systemic. Because when you don't allow for there to be repercussions for harmful behaviors of the people, you're literally saying our system is okay with this. So that's what Black Lives Matter is about, right? Saying like, okay, if police are going to act in this way, well, there should at least be fair repercussions across all people that they're doing this to, and they're not carrying out those repercussions for Black people. Why? And so the system is supporting this personal point of view that you're talking about, and that's what makes it also systemic, along with the fact that we know for a fact that the number of Black people incarcerated is greater per capita than white people. We know that Black people are having longer sentences for the same crimes than white people. That's not me making that up. Like, that is actual data.
Right,
so
pause.
systemic is real.
Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Thank you.
All right, how you doing, Amanda? I'm Ryan.
Ryan. Nice
to meet you. Thanks for being here. All right, well, what I would say is, as far as systematic racism, right? I think most of us would agree that at the very least it has occurred in this country, right? You know, we've had slavery, we've had Jim Crow segregation, all these different things.
Yeah.
I think my argument would be that right now in modern America, I don't think, at the very least, it's not as prevalent as it has been to where it could stop us from being successful. Okay, I would say that it's not a thing anymore where it needs to be talked about so much and so much attention focused on it. I don't think that currently there is systematic racism in a way that is going to be harmful to us. You know, like I said, to stop us. If anything, really, I think institutions such as things with DEI.
What do you think DEI is?
Basically, I think that it's in a way it's racism against other races outside of Blacks.
Oops. Uh-oh.
No, the fuck you didn't.
He says DEI is racism against other races. Uh-oh.
And so,
where did you get that concept of it from?
I've researched a lot of things. I looked at different clips from both sides of the argument, things like that. But basically, my point is, I think that as far as systematic racism, I think that there's evidence.
Dr. B84 with the $10 super chat says Black Lives Matter. Oh my God! Oh boy! Let me try that again. Black Lives Matter propagated black womanism. Hashtag if you know, you know.
It's from the other side, in that there's different things that are pushing Black people up in ways that are not fair, and different things like that. Because I think that we should be merit based. I think that should always be merit based, and when we're in, you know, when there's jobs and different things like that, race should not be something that's considered. And so I think that, let's say that there are ways right now where systematic racism is still alive. Again, it's not holding us back to a point where we can still be successful. We've seen so many examples, you know, today in modern times where Black Americans can, you know, there's no opportunities that I have that a white person or that a white person has that I don't have. I believe that all
opportunities. Are you sure about that? Can you?
Yes. Yeah. And again, see, she says, "Are you sure about that?" Yes, I am. And I'll ask the question that I asked earlier. Name a right and privilege. Name a right and privilege that white people have in this country that Black people don't.
Can you actually say that?
I would say that I have every opportunity in this country to be successful, to do what I want to do, and to stand on business that every other race has. Absolutely. And
do you have the
again,
same support?
Even if I don't have the same support, I can do what I got to do.
Do you have the same support?
I probably have more. I
do you have
the
same community support?
I have excellent community support. Absolutely.
Lucky for you.
Sure. Yeah.
Where did you grow up in a lower income, middle income, high income?
Do you see how she's trying? Do you see how she is trying? Do you see how she is trying to sort of pick off? She's trying to cut him off at the knees. Right? He's like, hey, look, man, like, this is actually possible. But now she's just trying to pick apart his argument. Mark Dumace with the $20 Rumble rant. Says, Donovan, congrats on the new puppy and thanks for the Saturday show. Absolutely.
It
was middle income.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, I think that even those who grew up in very needy situations, right, they may not have been dealt a great hand of cards.
But they still...
They can still, you know, I think it comes down to accountability. You can still play your hand and play your cards strategically in a way where you can still be successful, you can still do your thing, and you can wind up on top. And there's nothing stopping us from doing that.
Would you say that low-income white people and low-income Black people have the same ability to excel?
I would say they have the same ability to excel.
Okay, so I'm going to start countering different from that point then. So ultimately, we know that our low-income communities are not given the same access to resources on a myriad of levels. They don't even have the same air quality, okay? We know that low-income communities in general are also going to be much more policed than other communities. We know that policing as it exists in the United States came from slave catching. So even the tradition of policing comes from protecting property, not protecting people, okay? So let's start there. When we talk about...
Oh my God, this is nutty. This is absolutely crazy.
Low income, like the working class black people in this nation, we know that they have never been considered, ever, whether they were slaves or not. They just weren't considered. And we also know, as our brother Isaiah pointed out, that there are still people in very powerful positions that hold very personal positions as it relates to racism. And so in that way, they are impediments to someone moving forward. When we talk about DEI, the concept of DEI is not about lowering a standard. It's about widening the options.
No. It is about lowering the standard. It is about lowering the standard.
Nope. So we live in a nation that I feel like a lot of y'all are looking at the United States as a long history of something. We have a short history, all right? For 400 years, there was slavery. Black people were not.
Oh my God. 250 years there was slavery.
Even considered whole humans. We were 3/5 human. After the Civil War, during Reconstruction, Black people were then subjected to the Black Laws. The Black Laws were specifically for Black people. The Black Laws incarcerated Black people at such an exorbitant rate that they were able to get another slave labor force through the 13th Amendment because you had Black people that were serving entire life, like months-long, years-long sentences for jaywalking.
Okay.
So when we look at these things, we act as if, well, why can't we just get over that? That's 2 generations previous, okay? So if a father in the early 1900s was incarcerated for 2 years, how do you think that would impede their family from being able to grow, right?
Sure.
Now you're affecting the ability for their children to have 2 parents in the home. You also now have a mother who's like incredibly stressed and may have to always be working, so she's not able to parent.
Big Said with the $5 super chat says colorblind racism. Ooh, he said colorblind racism is like saying sexless promiscuity. Oh my God. Wow. Devin in the chat says the United States did not invent slavery. Nope. No, we did not.
Etc. We also know that there is a continued effort in this nation to not have Black people know the history of this nation. Like our good sis here was talking about, like, we have resilience, but this nation actively works systemically to keep that from us, right? We look in Florida at the laws that they're passing to not allow education about our past. And we know that if we don't know where we came from, how can we know where we're going?
Sure, okay.
All right, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
All good.
That's flags.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi again.
We cool now?
We good. We good. I think we're on the same. We're kind of looking at the same side of the same coin, and I think we both want the betterment of the Black community, and I think we're maybe coming from it from different ways. And so I do respect your position to what you were saying as well, that there are certain things and powers at play. And I've experienced racism firsthand. A lot of conservatives may try to act like, oh, there's no racism in America. I absolutely believe there is racism in America. I believe racist people exist. I just don't think that the systems as they stand today are inherently racist because I've seen too many Black people overcome. And I just feel like a lot of times what's left out of the dialogue is self-accountability and like self-will. We talked about how we were 3/5 of a person, but now we are 100%, I guess, according to the law or whatever, a person.
See, again, see that? See that? Do you see that? She's like, okay, yeah, we used to be considered 3/5 of a man. We used to be considered 3/5 of a man, but we are not anymore.
I feel like at the end of the day, if you wanted to walk out here right now and decide, you know what, I want to change my career, I want to do that, you can. And that's why so many people, and Nigerians come here, and Indians come here, and so many people who are not white, who are supposed to be discriminated against because they're not white, they come here and they become doctors and lawyers. Why? Because to your point, there's community. There's a sense of pride about, you know what, I got to go honor my parents back in Nigeria. I am hard.
Mac with the $10 super chat says the 1960 Monahan report findings pointed out problems and gave solutions in the Black community, but was rejected by liberals and Black women since the 70s. 20 million Black babies aborted. Dude, you are not kidding. Holy smokes.
I have to go honor my parents. I have to go honor my elders. They're not twerking and shaking booty. They're getting sick.
They are literally twerking and shaking booty in Nigeria.
The Nigerians I know ain't doing it. They are
literally learned it from Africa.
They're doctors twerking and shaking booty. So maybe they can shake because they got
See, this girl is telling you what's going on, boots on the ground. And Amanda Seals is like, no, it's not really going down like that.
We can back it up. But do you see what you're saying? Do you see what I'm saying, though? We have to be honest, Amanda.
Well, as a fellow daughter of an immigrant, right? So my mother's from Grenada. My mother did come here and was able to work and was able to get green cards for folks. So shout out to my mom. There's a very big difference in growing up somewhere and coming from a place where you are the majority and where your people are running the show than being somewhere where your people have been subjugated the entire time your people have been here.
But your mama came here and she wasn't the majority, so how did she succeed?
She succeeded because
Oops! Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, dude. This girl's going toe to toe with this hoe.
Came here with the fortitude of coming from a place.
Her resilience, right?
No, but
let
me say what
that's resilience. There you go.
If we don't acknowledge divide and conquer in the United States, we are having a pointless conversation. I
agree.
No. See that? See? Old girl just won that part of the debate. The debate. But now, if we can't acknowledge, again, this woman is obfuscating, This girl is absolutely, dude, she's getting smoked. Like, dude, she is getting absolutely cooked.
Have to acknowledge that there is a concerted effort at divide and conquer in the United States. We're literally.
Yes, there is a concerted effort of divide and conquer in the United States, and it is being perpetuated by niggas. Absolutely.
Watching it happen right now with an effort to divide and conquer and have black people fighting immigrants and have black people saying that immigrants don't matter.
So fighting white people.
White people is not the point. The concept of white people is
now white people ain't the point?
It's about people who are upholding a supremacy of whiteness versus people who understand that there should be an egalitarianism. There should be an equality.
We are becoming the new white supremacists.
We are. We are.
There it is. We are becoming the new white supremacist. She is absolutely right. She is absolutely right. And this is what I call black supremacy. This is black supremacy, y'all.
We
feel like we can't do anything.
No, it's not that we're putting them. It's not that we're putting them on a pedestal. It's that we are joining them and instead weaponizing our blackness against our people. When we do what you're saying.
No, you guys are weaponizing your blackness against everybody.
We are saying I am better because I figured it out, and so you're the problem because you didn't figure it out.
What about if I believe that the American dream is I have a right to that as well? Is that me joining white people, or is that me saying, you know what, I want to like the American dream for me, because it may look different from other people. Some people it's a boss shake. For me, I want my kids to grow up in a wonderful neighborhood. I want them to go to college. I want to have a 401k. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I feel like a lot of times in the black community we associate anything that's right or that's just or that's striving forward with whiteness. So when you say that we're working with
it's whiteness, it's capitalism, and I think that's what we have to understand the difference of. The concept of capitalism always is grounded in exploitation.
Oh shit!
We're benefiting from capitalism, and you know that because you would.
I understand that we are benefiting.
There you go, dude. This girl is getting absolutely cooked
from capitalism, but I also understand that we would have other people and a majority of people benefit if we were not solely capitalist. That is what it means to be a black radical. It's to understand that I can benefit as well as others.
So, Amanda, what is your solution then? Because we know that capitalism benefits us, and people are coming here every day.
My solution is what I continue to say. We need to have coalition building across cultural differences, across ethnicities, across classes.
And that includes collaborating with white people.
I've never said it didn't.
But
oops, yo, this girl is cooking.
This obsession with white people fails to acknowledge the fact that there are people who benefit from white supremacy.
But we live in America,
let me finish my point. There are people who benefit from white supremacy that do not identify themselves as white. They don't consider that to be the most important element of their identity, because they understand that at the end of the day, we need to see each other as humans that all deserve a right to exist.
Exactly.
We all deserve a right to exist, and I shouldn't have to earn my right to exist. And that is what capitalism does.
You have to earn it. That's what
that is what this nation is. You do have to earn it. You do. Yes, you do. That is why we are criminalizing the poor. We are criminalizing the poor on a regular basis. How so? Because we're not even allowing for a wage to happen to allow people to get out of poverty. We are seeing inflation grow.
We both have people in our family that have done it, so we can't.
No, we have not had people that have done it.
Yes, we have. Like, dude, there's proof all around us. Dude, there are more black millionaires and millionaires of color in the United States than there have ever been in human history. Holy smokes. Guys, what this woman is doing is she is literally just dismissing black success. All of the success that black people have had over the years, she's just dismissing it.
Mother came to America with an entire nursing degree. I can't say, oh, well, my mother did it, why can't you? Because my mother
was pregnant at 19 from the south side of Chicago with no degree and still made
good for your mom.
Oops, yo, this bitch is cooking. Yo, this bitch is cooking.
The question isn't whether or not some people can do it. The question and the reality is that it is not available to everyone in an equal way.
And that's unfortunate, but you know we live in a broken society. I went to Nigeria and they're having the same problems as a bunch of black people that are running Nigeria. But it's the same thing in Nigeria.
Nigeria is a broken society, whereas Burkina Faso is not. Burkina Faso is not. That's time. My final claim is...
Yeah, see, she doesn't like... Oh, my bad. She doesn't like her as much anymore now, does she? She don't like her as much anymore now, does she?
Racism fails to meet the needs of the working class.
Oh, here we go.
Ant dog. Okay, talk to me.
So I think black conservatives... We're the
ABL is back. Yes, sir. Hold on, where's my... Oops. Yes, sir. ABL is back, baby. Let's get it.
I think we're the ones, like a lot of the liberals on the left, the ones who do things like office work. They want us to go reparations, try to get things from the government, get handouts. We say, hey, go out there and work. Go out there and get these jobs that are available. Work with your hands, do skilled trades. That's what a lot of us talk about, skilled trades. So working class, that's really a black conservative thing, in my humble opinion.
I would beg to disagree. I think that would be true if black conservatism also created pathways for people to get those jobs and also to be able to challenge the corporations that are using...
Yeah, no. Black conservatism is about oneself. Black conservatism is based on doing for one's self. Okay, black conservatism is not expecting a handout. Dana Gonzalez says she thought she was going to drive out that young lady and she got cooked instead. Yes, she did. Dude, that girl cooked her, man. Oh my God.
That are stealing from them and not impeding them from having a union. So for instance, like in the South, right? I just left North Carolina where I met with the USSW, the Union of Southern Service Workers. This is an unofficial union of individuals who work at places like Waffle House, at Food Lion, etc. And their unofficial union is unofficial because...
Wait. Hold on.
To challenge the corporations that are using their labor, that are stealing from them and not impeding them from having a union. So for instance, like in the South, right? I just left North Carolina where I met with the USSW, the Union of Southern Service Workers. This is an unofficial union of individuals who work at places like Waffle House, at Food Lion, etc. And they're
Waffle House and Food Lion. By the way, Food Lion is a grocery store. Food Lion is a grocery store.
Official union is unofficial because the conservatives in that state will not allow for them to be legitimized.
Legitimized. Yeah, go ahead. I got you.
It will not allow for them to be legitimized because then they would be able to push back legitimately on the corporations to get fair wages, right? So like someone was telling me in this organization that she was in Baltimore getting $15.25 as a minimum wage, and then when she moved just one state away, she was now only getting $7.25 for minimum wage.
Okay, but this is what happens when you work at Waffle House. Like seriously. Seriously, like, is she expecting people at Waffle House to be making six figures? And how the fuck did people unionize working at Waffle House and fucking Food Lion?
The cost of living was the same for her. So when we talk about, the effort of saying go out and get these jobs and get these trades, et cetera, I think that is valid. But I think that the impediments by leveling up corporations and by pouring into the effort of corporations to keep billionaires, as Black conservatives, you are actually cutting off the ability for those people to excel.
Okay, I understand your point, but a lot of us are more about being self-sufficient. So the South, a friend of mine down there, King Randall, has a school for boys. He's 22 years old. He has a bunch of kids living with him. He's teaching them physical skills they can do. Okay, being a mechanic, working on your car, working on your house, doing things. So you don't have to worry about corporations. You could be your own man. You could be your own woman. And also, didn't you also say earlier that you're against unions? But are you for them now?
I never said that.
Oh, so you're for unions?
Absolutely.
So when the unions keep Black folks out, you're for that as well? Because that's traditionally what they've done, keep Black folks out, correct?
Whoops! Uh-oh! That is exactly right. And the unions back in the day were run by Italians. The unions back in the day were run by Italians and the mob hated Black people.
Obviously, I am not for that. The reality is that unions have definitely in the beginning kept Black folks out. And the reason why they were keeping Black folks out is because after the Civil War, when there was Reconstruction, you had all these Black people that had been used with free labor and they had skills, right? Whether they were a blacksmith or a carpenter or whatever. However,
okay, you're talking about skills, blacksmith, carpenter. People who work at Food Lion and Waffle House don't have skills.
You could not get jobs because the white people who now had to fend for themselves, if you will, because they didn't have slaves, they had to go and learn all these trades. And so they actively kept Black people out of those jobs. And then what they would do is that when they would, as a union, say, we're going on strike, the Black people would be like, well, we'll work because they won't let us in their union anyway. And then when they would go and actually get those jobs that the people were on strike for, they would hang them. They would lynch them. Mm-hmm. So yes, these are real things that have taken place.
That is absolutely, oh my God. This is, guys, what this woman just said is, what this woman just said is categorically false. Listen to what this woman said.
Those jobs that the people were on strike for, they would hang them. They would lynch them. Mm-hmm. So
okay, so let me get this straight. Workers would strike. Black people would go in and try to get those jobs, and they would get hanged and lynched. What the fuck is she talking about? What the hell is she talking about, guys?
Yes, these are real things that have taken place. But we keep having these conversations where we acknowledge the past when it's convenient, and then we only say in the present when it's convenient. So you can't simultaneously say, well, everybody's fine now and there's no systemic racism at the
Well, everybody is fine now.
Same time as stating that there are unions that are racist and unions that aren't racist. Ultimately, there is racism in the United States. It is deeply embedded. We have seen it in a myriad of examples, even just yesterday or today. And Black conservatives...
Coro says, now Donovan is clouded by Waffle House on his mind. Man,
conservatives are working against the working class because they are actively placing their vision, their ideology of Black excellence in economics solely.
Well, there is racism
and in individual economics. And I think that's really the big difference of what we're talking about right now. You're talking about every man for themselves. Every man for themselves.
No, I don't say that.
Oh, you say that?
I say that we have to be individual as people, as Black people, but still get all of us on the same page. My friends at school, he's not just looking out for himself, looking for all these kids as well. So it's like, okay, I bring myself up.
Yeah, Winter says, so they would employ them when normal workers on strike. Then when regular workers came off strike, they go out of their way to hang the Blacks. LOL. Dude. What is she talking about? Literally making shit up. Nobody got lynched for crossing the picket line. No, dude, like she is talking about Black people crossing the picket lines that the unionized workers walked off the job. Well, come on over here. Come on over here and work for us. Yeah, and now we're going to lynch you. Give me a break.
Bring everybody else up rather than relying upon the corporations and white people to lift this up. That's where we come from.
So I think there's a difference between relying on and acknowledging that there are impediments of. And I want to acknowledge the reality that we keep seeming to bump up against, which is that everybody has equal ability, and they don't. Everybody doesn't have the same impediments.
Everybody doesn't have equal ability, yet you want equality. This is why I tell you guys, Black people don't want equality. They want equal outcomes. Scott B. with the $5 super chat says, Amanda Seals is like someone who can walk like a normal person, but rides around in a wheelchair because she prefers people to feel sorry for her. Exactly. Like those big bitches at Walmart who have to ride around.
So, for instance, I grew up with a single parent, not because...
Me too.
I grew up with a single parent, not because my father was some deadbeat that didn't have... My father has a MD from Harvard. My father has an MBA from Tufts.
My dad was a firefighter, so working class.
Stop the cap.
Stop it, bitch. No. Don't even do that. Don't even do that.
He just didn't want to be a parent.
So, see. He just didn't want to be a parent. Oh, okay. Okay, he wasn't a deadbeat dad. Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. This bitch. Oh my God.
Me too.
I grew up with a single parent, not because my father was some deadbeat that didn't have. My father has a.
Because I was raised by a single parent, not because my father was a deadbeat. He just didn't want to be a parent. My dear, that is the very definition of a deadbeat. Okay, your father opted out of fatherhood while you were a child. That is the empirical definition of a deadbeat.
MD from Harvard. My father has an MBA from Tufts.
My dad was a firefighter, so working class, conservative.
He just didn't want to be a parent. So when we talk about this whole idea of like,
want to be a parent, but he's not a deadbeat, right?
It's not about necessarily what class you're in. It's literally just about we live in a nation that gives the option of I don't want to be a parent. We live in a nation that gives the option of I don't need to be in cooperation with our community. And as far as I'm concerned, Black conservatives do not address the needs of the working class, which are fair access to resources, which are equal.
No. Black conservatives, we don't endorse handouts. That's what we don't endorse. That's all this is. Listen, man, what niggas want are handouts. They can call it whatever they want. They can call it whatever they want. That's what they want, is they want handouts.
Access to getting jobs, which are equal pay to the same access as others. And we don't.
Equal to who?
Equal to other states even. Like there's no reality where you can say that the same amount of white people are working low wage jobs per capita as Black people. A lot of the reason is because there's such a disparate incarceration of Black people that it impedes their ability to get higher level education as well as higher level employment because we know about disenfranchisement.
All right, there you go.
Hi, Layla.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
I would actually argue that the Black working class is failing themselves. Wouldn't you agree that, in order to get a job, in order to qualify for a certain position and an education system at a job, wouldn't you argue that it should be based off of qualifications and not your race or identity?
Oh! Gotcha, bitch. There you go. And this is what the guy was talking about when he said DEI is just basically racism against other races.
I've never argued that. I've never argued that. That's not
I know that you were saying that you would argue that it should be equal, right? So you're saying that there should be Black Americans in education systems, in jobs, but wouldn't you argue that they should be qualified for those positions and not just placed there because of their skin color?
I've never disproved that.
Okay, so
That's not what DEI is. Do you know that?
Well, I'm not talking about DEI right now. Well,
because you're suggesting that I suggested that somebody should get a job just because they're Black, and I've never asserted anything like that.
Okay, yeah. This, guys, we are getting to the point of diminishing returns. I think at this point, we know who dude. This was not close, guys. This was not close, guys. This was guys, this was Super Bowl 59. This was Super Bowl 59. Okay? You guys remember Super Bowl 59? Happened back in February. Eagles versus Chiefs. That game was never close. That game was absolutely never close. Incredible. Manny Free with the $20 Rumble rant says she shouldn't be speaking on the Black community. Child actor raised by a single mother from Grenada. She's so out of touch. LOL. Everything about her personality seems like she's just acting Black. Dude, this woman is disingenuous. Oh my God. Dude, this is just... This is why you can't, this was not a debate, guys. This was not a debate. This is, this woman is, dude, same with the two bitches on Timcast IRL, the erudite and the fucking, whatever the fuck her name was. I'm more successful than you, Myron. Translation, I want to have 8 of Myron's fucking kids. Right? That's all this is, man. That's all this is. You can't argue with these people, guys. Yeah, Taiki says you cannot debate logic with stupid people. You can't. It's impossible. This woman was filled with ad homs. This podcast was filled with ad hominem attacks and everything in between. Oh, okay. All right, never mind. All right, very good. Let me read the the rest of the chats here, and then we will switch over to Rumble. Snow Demi says this was a cooking show. Corro Rich Kid from Hollywood, absolutely. Montrell with the $2 super chat says, bruh, this was overkill.
Yep.
Yeah, this was not close. Kyle 2020 says this was fantasy meets reality. Oh, you want to know something? Let's do this. Let's go to the comments, because we all know that the comments are where the bodies are buried. I don't give a fuck what she has to say. Oops. Oh shit. Damn. Here we are. An intelligent person attacks the ideas. An ignorant person attacks the people. Facts. Talk to me as yo mama. Gee, I wonder why people don't like her. Yeah, right? She insulted almost every one of them and demanded respect for shouting them down each time. That's a good one. She's not debating, she's protesting. Yep. This chick says, we need Amanda Seales versus Candace Owens next. Oh, let's see what the replies are for that one. Oh my God, dude. Mark Lamont Hill versus Candace. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, that would be crazy. Oh, here's a good one. She couldn't call them racist, so her software shut down. Harriet Tubman is often associated with the quote, I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. Oops. Rough Rufus says, thank you, Donovan. Thank you, chat. Subscribed. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Appreciate that very much. And share this with your friends, guys. Share this with your friends. It's actually impossible to have a debate with a person who is living in different reality. Yep. They made that pregnant woman sit there knowing she couldn't sprint to a chair. I guess that makes sense. Asks a question, does not let them answer, talks down to them the whole time. Yep. How to make yourself, quote, think you want an argument or a debate. Yell louder, call the other person names. Checkmate. Yep. That's about it. It's about the size of it. God, these things are filthy. Hang on, y'all. Jubilee has mastered the art of rage bait. Why do I torture myself with these videos? Because you have to. The statistics lie all the time, except when they go your way. Yep. Demanding respect while interrupting, shouting down, and generally disrespecting opponents. Hypocrisy and double standards abound with this woman. Absolutely. One medical doctor versus 20 chiropractors. Book it. This is funny. This is still the worst type of Jubilee videos. Watches everyone. Yeah. We don't watch it because we want to. We watch it because we have to. Don't cut me off. Proceeds to cut everyone off consistently. Look, Amanda, you're about to interrupt me again. Poor Black guy. I didn't even say anything. Like, dude, he didn't even say anything. The black fatigue sums up Amanda Seales. Yep, here we go. I've never heard someone speak so many words and not actually say something constructive. Yep, she's the reason racism won't end. Yep. Racism is not, guys, racism in this country is not an issue. Okay? Racism is an industry. Okay? Racism is an industry, man. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Slavery didn't last 400 years. It's been around as long as human civilization existed. Yep. Stats lie if they don't support my argument, right? Or if they stats lie unless they support my argument. Yep. I think this woman did more for creating black conservatives than she could ever possibly imagine. Yep. A debate has to be in facts. Stats aren't real. That's a hard environment for productive conversation. Yep. When a privileged Redditor meets real people, that's pretty funny. Think of me as your mama and you better respect me. Heck no, you haven't earned either one of those. You are my peer. A narcissist always tries to shift the power dynamic. Yeah. Ooh, she is so far down that rabbit hole that she can't see anything. All the things that she hates, she does herself. Disrespect, interrupting, racism, making statistics unreliable if it counters her view. Behavior like this at the age of 44 is a lost cause. King Life with the $2 super chat says, I sent you a funny link. Oh, okay. Is it safe for YouTube? If it's safe for YouTube, I'll definitely play it. Think of me as your mother. No, because you aren't. What a weird manipulation tactic. Yeah. I don't agree with your opinion, so I'm going to call you a liar and other names in order to vilify you. Yep. Oh, okay, so it is safe for YouTube. Okay. All right. So I'll play it here shortly. Don't interrupt me. Interrupts every 10 seconds. My dad wasn't a deadbeat. He just didn't want to be a father. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. No, he was a deadbeat father. That's literally the definition of a deadbeat. Yep, sounds like a deadbeat to me. Yep. Yep. You had a deadbeat dad, sweetie. That's one of the many reasons you're angry. The audacity to shout down, interrupt, and bully every single person in the room with little to no real backing facts is wild. It's not even ignorance at this point. It is just dead-ass plain stupidity. Yep. Absolutely. She literally dismisses everyone's facts, and then calls them uneducated. Great debating strategy. I had to bail when she seriously started blaming white people for the music that many black listeners choose. That's just absurd. No one is stopping blacks from listening to country or anything more uplifting than vulgar, hypersexual, and violent hip-hop. There are countless black artists making beautiful, meaningful, positive music. She's not offering real arguments. She's just making excuses. Wow, very good. Lord help us. This has raised my blood pressure. I think I'll get better at debating when I can sit through one of these and without saying anything. Anyone who calls themselves an intellectual is probably not an intellectual. Nope. Are you shaking your head at me? No, at me, says the one who literally rolled her eyes at everything they said. Okay, very good. All right, guys. Oh, yeah. Let me play the King Life link. Let me bring this up here.
The fact.
Okay. All right. Hang on a second. She absolutely got cooked. All right, I'm going to put this, I'm going to use my, I'm gonna use my copyright filter for this one because I don't know if it is copyrighted. But here we go.
The fact is, the president is racist.
Kamala Harris is a fat bitch.
I'm speaking. I'm a woman. Woman speaking. I am speaking.
Kamala.
I'm speaking.
Kamala. The moderators have decided that the mics will be muted like in the last debate, so no one can interrupt you. Isn't that great? The border has been a complete mess under her. The number of people entering this country has been bigger than maybe any time in history. People are struggling to afford food, and she wants to give more free stuff away.
That's actually pretty good. Kamala's debate strategy. That's pretty good. All right, let us read a few more. All right, I'm going to read a few more comments, and then we will move the party over to Rumble. Yeah, somebody said this woman got destroyed the entire video. Yep. Thank you very much, Amanda, for creating more black conservatives. Absolutely. Even if it was a hoax, for the sake of bringing attention to this, then I'm like low-key noble. Amanda Seals on Jussie Smollett in 2020, by the way. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She was the most disrespectful, loudest person ever.